Shawty, she a freak, 10-10 freak. She don't want to speak, she want beat to the beat. I'm the voice of the street, plus a freak in the sheet. She want me for her tea, I got me for your meat. I am mad. Shawty, in that man, when
Hey guys, just popping a quick trigger warning alert just to let you know that we will be covering some sensitive topics like SA and DV in this episode. We hope you tune in for the whole thing, and we love and appreciate you guys for watching as always.
They changed it. Go to Blanche.
Like, anywhere else is not really given.
No. It's my favorite Zara.
Oh, the Zara. So
Actually, public service announcement. You people that go to town, right?
How they doing?
And they're probably not in our demographic or in our views, but stop peeing on the street. The street smells like piss.
I literally just a piss alley.
Too much.
There's called piss alley. I almost vomit.
Too much.
Really? I literally almost I literally just seen men fling out their thing in the middle of the street. No decorum. Could you imagine a woman just sitting down squatting to pee?
Yeah, I was just like
I'd actually vomit.
It wouldn't happen. But no, yesterday we were like across Charlie's, wherever that road is. I can't remember what the road is.
That's
right across
Delir.
Dahlia?
It's Delir.
It is Delir. It is, look, see?
Yeah.
Damn.
I used to call it Doiler.
It's like D apostrophe. I don't understand it, Sha. But we were standing outside there yesterday, and the smell of pee by the traffic lights was shocking. It's like, this is not New York. Like, people escape America to come here to Ireland for the freshness.
Honestly, there's nothing fresh.
Well, the grass is real. The grass in the UK is not real.
It's
in the UK.
That's why our cows are so fresh and like the beef is
that's why they import their meat. Yeah.
It is. It's rank.
She said the food
It's
in the
actually
UK
so
is
bad. The food in America is rank as well.
I've never been.
Guys, when I went to New York, my auntie came and I was like, "Can I have some butter?" Like, she's like, "Butter?" And I was like, "Yeah, butter." So she brought this holy God knows what that thing was. She put on the thing. I almost vomited on the thing.
Yeah.
She had to go to an Irish farmer market to get me food.
Kerrygold.
Kerrygold. Every single day she would go to an Irish farmer market, get my bread, get my everything, because the food is not real.
Yeah.
It's not real.
In America, like, I've even seen 3D printed meat.
Oh.
What? 3D printed meat. I will find the video and I will insert it in this clip. 3D printed meat. Some guy was cooking it on Instagram and he was like, it just didn't look right.
That's gross.
But most of the food in America wouldn't pass like health and safety like
at all.
What's that
here in
food?
Ireland.
It's called red dye 80.
Oh my God, guys,
like
right? I went to Costco in Manchester, right? My family live in Manchester.
Okay.
And guys, I had this thing called a melon.
Oh.
A lemon.
It's a crossbreed of a melon and a lime.
But the funny
How did they get there?
What, a lab experiment? I actually...
No, literally.
Just giving lab.
The funny thing is that she's saying the word wrong. It's limelin.
Limelin.
No, it's a lamelon.
Limelon.
Limelon. Lamelon.
No.
It sounds better than saying limelon.
That's ghetto.
It's limelon. That's what
Limelon.
It sounds way better than
Do you
saying
have
limelon.
research?
Yeah, in a little test tube.
Ew.
And a Nutri dish plate. Yeah. Guys, there's so many crossbreeds of fruits. Like, it's crazy.
But that's not normal though. Like, what seed happens?
It tasted so good. You know, even grapes with no seeds. Grapes with no seeds. They're also crossbreed.
Yeah, bananas are crossbreeds as well, because bananas are
what?
meant to have seeds. Like, I promise you, they're meant to have like that. They're meant to be
Crossbreeds of
that
what?
size. Well, they're not crossbreeds. What would you call them?
Genetic
modified.
Yeah, I think cauliflower as well.
Cauliflower, broccoli,
like-
No,
anything
I
that
think
grows
broccoli is
underneath
fine.
the ground. No, anything that grows underneath the ground is gentrified. Like, we're all meant to be eating foods from above the ground. That's why, like, in the Bible, it says that we're only meant to be eating fruits, and then
You
in the
can
New
get like
Testament-
GMO potatoes, squash, apples, papayas, pink apples. Yeah,
They're all gentrified.
Quick question. Is tomatoes a vegetable or a fruit?
it's supposed to be a fruit.
It's a
know this
fruit.
answer.
It's a fruit.
But I would
It grows on vines.
Yeah, I'd classify it as...
What's gone?
Well, you pick tomatoes. You don't really... The fruits, you pick them.
Yeah.
So I'd say
Grows
that
on
they're
vines.
fruit.
Tomatoes are
berries.
It's a fruit.
It just has.
It's nasty, but
it's
like...
a savory fruit.
I don't like cherry
I can actually.
tomatoes.
Yeah, I can eat
I
tomatoes.
don't say it
You don't like cherry tomatoes?
Guys, it's a texture thing for me. It's the way it
Oh, that
explodes
makes
in your
sense.
Do you like
mouth.
mushrooms?
I love
Love
mushrooms.
mushrooms.
So like, wait. So
Wait.
So you don't like
A
things
little bit
exploding
of
in your mouth?
salt, some oil on a mushroom. Wow, I
Wait.
love it.
So you don't like things exploding in your mouth?
Oh,
I don't. Not
Fair
at all.
play.
Guys,
That's it, we love
Not,
that.
not at all. I hate it. I hate it with every bit of my chest.
I hate men.
Are you sure?
So what's your mushroom? What's your
I
mushroom?
hate it with every bit of my
Why are you looking at
chest.
me? Can you look at the camera?
I hate it with every bit of my chest.
No exploding here. The only thing that should explode is your wallet in my hand.
And on that note,
That's
for me,
all.
let's get the intro in.
Okay. So guys, welcome back to GTG,
know the
baby.
vibes.
Your weekly subscription to the gist. And today we've got an extra special guest. She's too funny.
guys.
A big purr, because Celine's hair had to throw in the lingo. Guys, welcome Mercedes to the pod.
Hi guys. Guys, I'm so excited to be here. I'm Mercedes Kamara. And the girls, I wanted to actually say, I was just talking about in the car before we came, I manifested this. I wrote this on,
What?
Yeah, I swear, I was literally saying on my 2024 mood board, I wrote down GTG podcast and I'm here. You see that?
No way. No
I swear to
way.
God, I wish I took a
I'm
picture.
actually
I wish I took a
gassed.
picture of it just to show you because I'm the biggest on manifestation. And I literally said it and I spoke into existence.
Damn.
So
I fell in love with your
honored.
TikTok from
you
get
should,
go.
like, I
I
should,
we
though, like,
love
God
you.
knows. Like, I actually being so serious. I was like,
Wow.
my little brother was like, didn't you? I was like, yeah.
That's so good.
Well, we're happy
She's
to
about to
have
have
you
this
here.
episode up as well.
Yeah, this is banging.
Oliver.
That's been the most energetic intro we've had in a minute, girl.
Yeah, y'all need to do
Honestly.
better if you're coming onto this.
Do your homework.
You know,
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at it.
Put us on your
Looking
mood board.
lingo.
Put us on your mood
Put us on your mood
board.
board.
Comment below. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be like, I'm on a mood board,
Where you
baby.
at? I
Actually,
actually should though.
So the way she came and gassed us, you really woke us up this Friday
You
because
should
we
be
were
woke.
dead till she got here.
Alright, guys. This
This
is gonna
is
be
the week.
history, guys. You're witnessing history right now. So,
Right. So yeah, guys, I listen. You know, it's not me, but I listen to a 6-part series on TikTok. I
Damn.
don't usually have time for that, but I do. So basically, it's about Cleo versus Ice Spice.
I don't know who Cleo is.
Cleopatra is an American artist. She's a rapper. She basically has what Ice Spice flow sounds like right now, but she's a dark skinned artist. So obviously,
Oh,
you know what I mean, like, you know.
yeah.
So obviously, so basically, summary is Ice Spice invited Cleo to Ice Spice's tour, but treated her like shit. So basically, the first incident that kind of like gave off a knockoff effect on the rest of the instances was basically Ice Spice said, "Look, Cleo, come on the thing. You're good. Don't worry, you're good." She got there and like the security won't help Cleopatra with her bags. So obviously, Cleo, she doesn't keep stuff in. She, you know, she confronts things. So she confronted her and she was like, "Yeah, like I don't know why your security guard can't get my bags." And so Ice Spice was like, "My security guard needs to be beside me, but your security left you to get your bags." So that argument was shit anyways. So she went on like basically like they wouldn't feed her, they'd eat without her, like, you know what I mean? There was one time where they were in the desert or whatever and like they went to go eat steak. This girl was struggling to even get McDonald's down the street. Like it was literally, and there was a time where like obviously they were told that, okay, it's time to leave, guys, you guys go on the bus. So obviously I think they slept and woke up like from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. the bus hadn't moved. Imagine waking up and the bus hasn't moved. So basically they found out that Ice Spice didn't want to leave yet, but Ice Spice could have texted her friend that, you know what I mean? So they literally just kicked her to the sidewalk and she had to bond with Ice Spice's hairstylist and makeup artist.
that's so sad.
So like, yeah, like, and it just made me think like,
It's giving mean girl.
it's giving me like,
It's giving colorist, actually.
It's giving
It's also
colorist.
giving
Yeah.
keep your friends close but your
Enemies
enemies closer.
closer.
You get.
She was saying things like Ice Spice used to look up to her and be like, oh, this is a real like 360 moment. Like, you know, she used to, now like obviously Ice Spice is up and
I've never liked Ice Spice.
It's given that she kept her close to be like to observe her and take on her personality because there's
is, yeah.
there's no way that you can be saying that treating me that bad after I've brought you into my life. Like there's no way.
even Ice Spice's style, like the mini skirts and the big boots, Cleo
I've
got
seen
that
that.
first.
Really?
And then
Some
obviously
people
Ice
be
Spice went on to
studying
Twitter
you.
Spaces and was talking about like, you know, we couldn't even, I don't know, basically she was moving weird, like she was eating her food like a vacuum. But why would you go online to say that about your supposed friend? Then obviously the Cleo girl put up screenshots of the chat and she was like, enjoy your careerless life or whatever. Like you only get 10,000 listens on Spotify. Like she was
Guys, we
really...
need to blow up Cleo.
Yeah,
I just want this
yeah.
thing to blow up
Guys,
just
go
for
listen to
revenge.
Cleo. I have to even follow her on Instagram.
Cleopatra.
I felt so sorry for her. So, because imagine, though she was also saying that, like, you know, if Ice Spice's makeup artist didn't really invest in, like, lifting that eye, Ice Spice's eyes would be down. Like she looks like lifeless, and that she kept on saying like she's, you know,
She looks like she's
the devil
animated.
or
I can't
whatever.
even
It was kind of scary.
With the way she was twitching during that prayer, bro.
Did you guys see that video of Ice
didn't
Spice?
see it. I don't wanna
She's
see
like
it.
this. Guys, let me-
I've
let me
never
hold my
liked her.
hand. So let's pretend Ree's praying, yeah?
That's what she was
That's
doing the whole
giving
time.
that's giving demon.
And she's like this.
What the heck?
Guys.
I've never liked Ice Spice.
As soon as I heard that,
But if you listen to her music, you can also see her characteristic in it. That's why I always tell people, don't ever say separate the music from the art. The art is because you can actually see their personality within their work that they're
Right.
doing, the things that they're listening to. That's why you need to be so careful with the music that you're consuming.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us don't even realize that what we're like actually put into our subconscious minds. So like Ice Spice, for anyone to be confused with her act, how she is now and how it's come out, listen to her music and you'll be able to tell. She talks about stealing your man and then no bitch has her, blah blah blah.
Even the drama with Central C and He's Big,
Yeah,
that was
man.
all Ice Spice as well. It's
I
like,
think that's promo, to be honest.
it
I
was
did think it was a bit
promo,
of
but it was
promo.
like the thing was like
it was a good promo. But
Yeah, it was.
It was good promo for him, but I think like the relationship is really dead. Like Mads was going on about it for days.
But
like,
he doesn't care though.
He doesn't
like,
care about the 100%.
He never really
He
cares.
never cared
As
about
I
the girl.
said, his music always shows. Music always shows. He talks about not having respect for women. So as a woman,
When did he say
seeing
that?
And all his music, like he
If you
doesn't
really
care.
listen to
Yeah,
listen
if
to
you
the
really
song like
listen to the
Central
lyrics.
C.
He doesn't
Even
care.
there's a line in it where he was like, I'll give you the code to my Amex before I give you the code to my Insta.
Do you get me? Like he's
that ain't
unloyal.
bad, but damn.
He's
No,
not.
but he's literally telling you, I would rather you have my whole entire bank account details,
Which is fine.
than for you to ever see my DMs.
We
Yeah,
love
like
that.
if we're dating, that's cool.
Give
Wait,
me your
actually,
Amex.
question.
No, I would
Turn your card. I want to see it.
I would
Like,
rather. I would rather.
So
the
you're
money.
saying, yeah, like two options: unlimited cash forever, as long as you're in a relationship, or
what's the-
I never see the DMs, or see the DMs and be forever broke.
See, I'd like the first
But I'm not
option.
broke to
Amen.
begin with. So it's one of those things where it's like, why would I prefer the money when you're making a fool of me in the DMs?
It's not worth
like, there's
it.
people literally who are going to be
You ate
sat
with that
there
one.
laughing
forgot
at
that's
you.
public.
There's going to
Forgot
be
that's public.
babes at home
There you go.
in the bed
Yeah.
being like, this fool. She
Because
doesn't know what her man is
But,
saying
but the
about
thing
me.
is, these fools, like girls that's watching it, is in her mom's box room with an unwashed ass. So why would I actually care about somebody having an input on how me and my
wash your
man
ass,
is?
man.
Yeah.
If
It's
like
Tuesday.
She
you're
is
not
that-
making the money that I'm making,
In
like
5 days, wash your ass.
haven't like do your homework.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Wash your ass. It's itchy for
that cream needs to be your doctor is looking for you. Go check.
with a sponge.
Not the doctor.
No,
But
that
what was I
scratch.
gonna say?
That scratch
Yeah, I
is
forgot that like it's
scratching.
public, but like the reason why I said like I could be okay with that is if I know the type of man he is, and I'm here for like a certain period of time for a reason.
Would you be able to do it in silent? Like if no one knew about your relationship and he's cheating on you, but he had as much money as Central
He can't
C.
be my boyfriend. We're dating.
Okay, that's
Even
fair.
then, like to be honest, like really, really and truly, like I'm just chatting shit. I would never ever be with a man like that. To be
Yeah.
honest, but
Yeah.
Your self-worth is so much more important
it's
than
too
money.
high.
You get-
It's too
yeah.
That even brings me on to something because I feel like we kind of skipped out on it when we were talking on the I Said What I Said podcast live. Remember the two girls in the crowd that had beef? Guys, if you're listening to us, yeah?
Wait, 1 second.
If you're listening to us, yeah? You're both losing. That man is literally for the
Wait,
streets.
give
So
context.
basically, some girl sent in a message basically saying that how
giving
she
gist.
was never best friends with this girl, that she never stole her man. So she was like, I didn't steal your man, you were never my best friend.
So there was a
Oh my
confessions.
God.
Yeah.
So basically on the live show where I Said What I Said, there was confessions and you can tell secrets.
Yeah.
So this girl came on, nobody asked her to. She
No
just
one.
did a confession. She said, like, yeah, go on.
She was like basically like, I didn't steal your man, we weren't best friends.
For no reason.
For no reason, came out of nowhere.
That's what happened.
Like even all of us on the stage were like,
Oh,
oh.
yes.
And then the best friend was also in the crowd. Well,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
the
they
maybe
were
best
both in
friends.
the crowd.
And then that
Because-
one responded back basically just being kind of like, whatever helps you sleep at night.
I don't fight anymore, but that's actually something that you would get like
Yeah,
clapped for. Like
in the
actually,
UK?
that's so disrespectful.
It's so
and, like, it came out
and I
of
will give you
nowhere.
trust issues
Yeah,
as well.
Came out of nowhere.
No.
So it was one of those things where I was just kind of like,
so weird.
it's kind of like sad that the girl who currently has the man feels like she has one upper.
Yo.
And it's like, you're dumb.
But we like, but to be honest, yeah, like if you're in love, yeah, why do you need to
The
Why do
drama.
you need
why
that?
do you need the drama?
It's deaded.
Just let it go.
Because it's not love.
It's not love.
It's
But
really
it could
not
be
love.
love.
If
No,
you're
that's what
happy in your
that's what they're used to. A
No,
lot
but
of women.
if you're happy, why are you still thinking about the ex? If you're genuinely happy, like deep it. If
Some
someone's
people don't
so
want
in
to
love,
be happy.
Well-
They're scared to be truly happy. That's the
Yeah.
reason
What
why
I
they
don't
love
like-
chaos.
What? Sorry, baby, for interrupting you.
No, you're
What I
fine.
don't like is like women who feel like they're better than you because they have the man. That's one thing I don't
It's
play
never
with.
that.
Because really and truly, if you feel like you're better than me because you have a man, do you know what a man
you have
is?
nothing else.
You're a
If
loser.
The best thing in your life is just your man.
but you know what? Like
You don't have much.
You're a loser.
if you got the prize, yeah, and if that's the love of your life, this girl, if they even broke up, she still could be hurting. Do you know what I mean?
healing.
Like have respect.
When has a man
have
ever
empathy.
been the prize, guys? No, don't fight over men, especially in a relationship where you could lose your friend. Friendship is forever. Men come and
Facts.
go. Like
For me, it was
Facts.
even the publicly trying to embarrass the girl.
that's insane.
Because Ireland
Like-
is small. People dead ass knew what was going on.
All
You
of
get
us
me?
in there were like,
now, foreign people
I didn't know.
that came.
I got
We didn't know, but we gave her the tea.
I was so confused.
Imagine
Yeah.
like Ireland is small. Ireland is like let's say a big mansion, right? We now have guests in the house. You've now disgraced
yo, yash.
your nyash and multiple other people's nyashes. Now these women are leaving like, oh, that Ireland place, chilly.
It's a bit
Like that's
chill.
not. We're supposed to be a united front. There's not a lot of women in
There's
here,
not
but
many of
I'm
us.
telling you, if more women in Ireland actually banded together and created a strong front of like healthy relationships, like a lot of shit would not have happened.
yeah.
yeah, but I
it's
feel like a
because
lot of
like
women.
cat fights and they're like, sorry,
No,
yeah.
you're- women are so male centered, and that's the reason why a lot of this happens. I feel like if not, I love men. Guys, don't come for me, but I'm just saying,
I
like,
love men too.
if the need for male validation wasn't so prominent within female spaces, think about how Sunshine and Rainbows we look. Have you ever seen AI when what life would look like without men and all? It's just like,
It's so
I'm not
peaceful.
saying, guys, I promise you, I love men, but I'm just saying, decenter them and use them
Yeah.
as an option, or like
Facts.
they're not a need and they come into your life as something that adds value to you. But if you're losing your friendships and you're ruining yourself for a man, you need a
That's
hobby.
sad.
I think
Like a lot of you need hobbies.
you get. I think you need to find love from within, and a lot
Yeah.
of people lack finding love from within. Because if we had love from within, guys, yeah, and girls, I should say. It'd be so much better. Do you know what I mean? Because you
Self-worth.
can
Wouldn't
see
be
your
craving
self-worth.
it. Yeah.
You don't need someone. You don't need that justification of like, oh, they like me or they think I'm pretty. Do you know what I mean? Just love yourself first.
I agree. Speaking of self-worth, right? So, guys, you know the artist Mooney Long? That's like, nobody knows.
Yeah, we know
She is getting divorced after a 9-year marriage.
As she should. If it's
Because
not working, it's not working.
It's not. That's literally what she said. So it was basically a case of like this year was probably her biggest year in her career, right? So her husband apparently wasn't as happy for her doing so well. So she realized that the love wasn't there anymore, and she was like, I'm gonna leave. Like, I know my self-worth, I know what I'm doing, and it's like she's saying they had some great times, but see, right now she knows their relationship is not the best. They can co-parent their child together, but she was like, he can either meet her at the top or he can lose her. It's one
An
of the two.
insecure man feels emasculated when their woman is doing better than them. Like, I'm not, it's when you're successful and when you can see yourself climbing up the ladder a lot. That's really difficult for a man to accept that in some men, not all men, because they're meant to be the provider. They're raised on the idea that they're meant to carry the household. So they would support you, but they would never want you to be the breadwinner, because that shows to themselves, like, what am I doing? So I would just say, if you're going to date up as a woman that's coming into the scene and art and everything, make sure the guy that you're dating is okay with you shining and is okay with the possibility of you being the person that is, the face of the family.
And if he isn't,
Breadwinner.
Jesus is enough.
Exactly.
Jesus is
Really?
enough.
It really, really is. I'm trying to figure out, did that song make it to number 1? I feel like it made
It
it.
definitely
probably
did.
did. It probably did.
Definitely did.
People were singing that
Like,
shit.
can you imagine? That's like the biggest thing of her career. And it's like, not even that. She's someone who writes a lot. Like, she's been in the industry for a long time. And it's now a case where she's finding it to write for herself and she's getting the accolades that she deserves for her years of work. And it's now you got beef with it.
It's because he didn't
Damn.
actually think she's gonna blow. Like, he never thought that. He was riding on the back of her, hoping that she's gonna do well. And when she did, it's like a shock to his system. And you can tell that.
Yeah, and it's like, it's definitely like, people can get jealous. Like, I understand, like, in relationship, friendships, anything. But it's owning that jealousy in the sense of not, like, projecting it onto your partner. Do you know what I
Exactly.
mean? You should project it back onto yourself so you can do better, be better.
I always say, like, use it as inspiration. One of my biggest things is that, like, obviously being in the art scene, like in Ireland and everything, and watching people like thrive, I see people that I grew up with and I'm seeing them do well, and I'm asking myself, what am I doing with my own time and all. That's never a time for me to start hating on them or sitting on a fake account and going out of my way to make that person feel bad because I'm insecure in my own mediocrity. Why don't you use that as fuel to start what you need to be doing? Like, success comes from within. And if you're going out of your way to like suppress other people's achievements just to make yourself feel better, you're a loser. You're a loser. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
I hate
so
that
true,
shit.
to be honest.
It's especially in this scene. I'm not joking. The Irish
The scene.
this Irish scene is crazy when you actually see how angry people get with you succeeding in something that they wish they could be doing. Why are you mad at my success? Don't you see that as like ammo to actually be able to do something that you want to do?
said it. We all have the same 24 hours.
I said that and I got cancelled. You guys actually that did that to me. Shame on you. Because think about it, like 24 hours in a day. If not a random person gets 25. Did you get 25 hours today? Did you get 26? Did you get 26? I got 24. We all have 24. What you do with that, I understand circumstance, but don't say that another person has more than you, please. A lot of people get it off from the mud. Thank you.
She ate with that.
I was dating a man that hated me though.
Oh.
I'm healed though. I'm good now. But like obviously,
It's so calm. Like,
I'm gonna
we can all
get into
relate.
it. So basically, he would say to me, and guys, I'm taking accountability for my actions. He was like my type to the, as in like no one can ever be my type like he was my type. You know what I'm saying?
In
And obviously,
physically,
there will be
make it
just
very
like
clear,
in the
physically.
moment,
Okay.
I felt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Physically.
Wait, but if he was your type, why would he do that?
No, baby, listen.
That's why I'm making it very clear.
Savannah,
Physically,
Savannah,
guys.
slow down.
Physically, she means
Okay, physically.
I
External.
got your time.
External.
We're gonna talk about it. Okay. No, physically he was my type. And at the start, you also portrayed to me like, you know, good attributes of a man. But then, you know, as some Nigerian men do,
Shape
they start-
shift.
Yeah, they start. You know what I'm saying?
not Wolverine.
They start chameleonize, you know what I mean, behavior. So he was saying like, I don't like this person. Now, this person that he don't like is an influencer. Is someone that podcasts even. I won't say the name. I don't like this person. This person that talks online. What do? I talk online. She also writes books as well.
Very intelligent woman.
Very
as well.
intelligent woman.
Okay.
Like, cool. So he was saying he doesn't like these people, doesn't like this people. And I was just like, you know, I came from the perspective of, you know, not everybody likes everyone. You know, people can pick and choose who they like.
Why are you describing me?
I don't. Right. Because I at the same time, the two people he described, I'm trying to pursue what they have, but in the middle. Because one of them is a bit more like, whoa, and the other one's a bit more calm. I'm trying to meet in the middle. Do you get me? So he'll say that. I was like, okay, cool. Then when I ended it, I was healing and I was just trying to look back so I can move on and learn. I was like, this nigga hated influencers.
Yeah. They hate your guts.
He hated me.
But men do be hating you.
Like, I feel like men are more
secretly-
jealous than other women of women. Like, only because of how much they're like pushed into being these masculine leaders, and then seeing a woman like go into life so easily. It's not easy, but and just get things handed to them. It's such a frustrating thing for them to come to terms with, especially in manhood. Think about how their grandparents got a house, a wife, and kids, and all of this simply for just being men, while their wives and all are staying at home. They're literally subconsciously training for that outcome when they turn the ages at their parents and their grandparents. But look at the society now and patriarchy, where they're one debt away from being homeless. So it's like, and women have freedom now, where we have our own choices and we thrive in spaces that were literally only made and created for men. So I feel like a lot of the jealousy men have towards us is the lacking of what they were expected to have at that age. How is that our fault? Like, I really want to know why it's directed at us all the time.
Yeah.
Their frustration with patriarchy. We didn't set it up.
Yeah.
So why don't you go into your internal spaces and start shifting and trying to change that for yourselves? Like, and don't be scared of being sassy. It's not a sassy thing to want change.
Yeah.
I'm not your punching bag. I got choked by a man, actually.
Choked?
My ex actually did, like, he actually physically hurt me.
Like, held your neck
like
like this?
helped me, like he strangled me. because of his insecurity and his masculinity. And me, I attract very damaged men. Not anymore, God forbid. But I used to attract very, very damaged men because of like the jealousy thing and their insecurity and their masculinity. Because I'm very well spoken. Don't check me. But like I am, and that's very, very challenging for some men. So you know, it is what it is. Oops, sorry guys.
Bro.
Literally. But the guy, he asked me.
I feel like you can fight though.
Oh, no, I used to be a fight. Celine, like, I used to be a fighter. Now I'm like, now I go to the police. Like, I go to the police. I have 8 brothers, right? So, like, I know, yeah. So, I was raised
This
around.
is why she knows so much about men.
Trust me, my brothers put me on game, like, but.
Are you the only girl?
Only girl out of 8 boys. It's insane.
Where are you placed?
Last born.
Wait, so your mama gave birth to 8 men?
No, okay, let me make something very clear. My mom and dad, I have brothers on my dad's side and brothers on my mom's side. But like they're all in Ireland, like they're all in my life. It's all into my little foster brother as well. So like biologically I'm the youngest out of my mom and dad, but like my house is full. So I've never been avoided of men in my life, and my dad's also very present in my life as well. So remember we were talking about that thing in the car where the guy I was talking to, because I'm very healed and I know what I want and I know exactly what I deserve. Talking to a guy, I caught his gaslighting straight on. This man goes, "This is the reason why I go for broken women." Whoa. To my face. To my face. I can't make this shit up. I'm so happy.
Women.
I was so happy that you said it, because it actually like clicked on in my brain where like some people go out of their way to search for damaged women.
But that's not even gaslighting. That's just being a sociopath. Like,
he is a sociopath though. He hacked my WhatsApp. How can you hack my WhatsApp? Bro. Like, you hacked my WhatsApp.
Wait a
What do you mean
minute.
hacked your WhatsApp?
No, like he got like I don't know how he did it, but he ended up getting a SIM card with my actual number on it.
What?
And like tried to find like the list of people that I was talking to. That's what I mean. Like, I attract madness.
Wait. So you're saying he copied
my number.
your number?
It's free.
Wow, and you got.
He won't leave me alone still. If you're watching this, leave me alone. I promise I'm actually gonna go to police.
Is he from Blanche?
No, he's from like, I'm not gonna say exactly where he's from, but he's not from this county.
What about a restraining order?
The thing is, they don't take restraining orders seriously. Like, I tried to get a restraining order for my last ex. They were like, we can't do anything about that. As I said, I attract very crazy
Police in
men.
Ireland.
Wait.
They don't care.
No, crazy. How much? How damn bad do you have to be
crazy.
duplicating SIM cards, bro?
Control.
That's why I mean jobless men.
But that
Go
shit
find a
doesn't
hobby
work.
and a trade.
Sadly, that shit doesn't surprise me, because like it's not gonna surprise me that a man would like to date. Because I won't lie, some men already see women as lesser anyways, because they're easier to control.
Yeah.
Naturally. So even that guy saying he doesn't like influencers, saying that he doesn't like this woman or this woman, would now it affects your subconscious. Like, okay, he doesn't like this woman and this woman, so I'm gonna try not to be that woman. So then it's pushing me away from my purpose. Do you know what I'm saying? And God said, nada. You're not
Yeah.
They want to keep you specifically in
get
that
me?
box.
And the
They keep
thing
you
that I
stagnant.
found really funny about that is all the women he's saying he doesn't like, their bank accounts are bigger than his.
Of course. And that's why I'm saying insecurity in his masculinity. He thinks that he needs to be a provider.
It's not even about the bank account. It's about your own. Like, do you know how much you lack self-worth if you have to be constantly talking about other people, being like, I don't like this person, I don't like that person, I don't like what they do. Like, how much time do you have in your 24 hours of the day to be checking on other people to say, I don't like you?
You can go ahead, Lo.
No, please remember that point. Please. I was gonna say, I think some men struggle with self-worth because, like, if they're not seen as the provider, like, they don't feel like they're not worth anything. I feel like we should bring up those conversations more in a more safe environment.
But who's bringing up the conversation?
No, I'm just saying it needs to be brought up.
You're right.
Conversation does need to be brought up, but even in that instance for you, because I know exactly who you're talking about.
Oh, but like,
you were so
I'm talking
feminine around. I know you're talking about
separate.
I
But
know
yeah,
you're
go
talking
ahead,
separate,
yeah.
but in that whole scenario, you were actually so feminine. He just has a problem.
Yeah.
I think he has a problem within himself that he had just not realized. Because you're sat here saying you don't like all these women on the internet, but you're spending time on the internet watching these women to even know you don't like them.
Exactly.
And then these two women that he didn't like are so bipolar opposite on the spectrum.
Do you like women?
Yeah.
That's literally what I said to
Do
her.
you like
I said, so
women?
who does he like?
What do
Because
you
you didn't
want?
like this intelligent one that was out here writing books who gives relationship advice. Even even when I sat there and I tried to figure out the reasons why he didn't like them, I was like, okay, maybe he thinks she's a bit of a know-it-all. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, this was someone who was like very funny, kiki and naughty, and he didn't like her either. So I said, who do you like? Because it's giving you like men.
No, it's giving that they like women that are mute. It's giving women that have nothing to say, no personality and no control. They don't, like a lot of men find it very difficult to be around women that know themselves.
Do you know what? They get attracted to women who know themselves.
Of course.
And
There
then
you
they're
go,
like, I love it.
That's why
I
he
love
was
it.
here
And
when
then
I
they're
start.
like, actually,
Then
no,
when
let's
it's
just
there,
change it all.
let's switch it
Let's
up.
just break you down a bit.
Let's say we can get into it now. I'm healed. Like we've moved on. Let's get into it. So
Yes.
basically, I was talking to him on the phone one day, and I was obviously asking about his past relationship, and he was like, "Yeah, like the girls I've been with, they've always asked me out, so they've always asked him to be her boyfriend." So I was like, so he was telling me, "Oh yeah, so my ex asked me to be her boyfriend," and I was like, "And you said yes?"
That's a crime.
What she told me, I was
That
like,
is a crime.
what she told me? She goes, this is what he said today. I said, he said yes like a bad bitch.
like this.
He's a baddie.
That's what she
You're
was. I said like a
baddie.
bad
Once he's
bitch.
flown
Check
out.
your
So obviously,
nails.
when he said it, I was obviously like, that's cool for her. But
Did you
for
guys
me,
share clothes
you
and
have
all?
to-
Like you shared clothes in it? Because there's
like
no
the
way that
dresser.
as a man you're saying you're asking for a boyfriend. Do you want a room full of pedals as well?
bro.
Like it's giving jealousy. Like
You're putting on a robe. He's
But
asking
you know
if you have a
the
spare.
worst thing about him was that these same women that he didn't like, he happened to be in a room with them.
of course.
And then he was now
He's
saying that
studying
that same
them.
person he didn't like was looking at him.
He's studying them.
Wait, so they were in the room as well, and he said he didn't like them. He fancies them.
He does.
He fancies
He wants
them.
to suck their
does.
titties.
No, that's it.
They
He
want
fancies
what
them.
they
That's why I
can't
said
have.
he literally...
No.
Can we talk about how like men will say, not all men, make that very clear, but they will say, oh, I don't want that certain type of woman, or women shouldn't be such gold diggers. They should build with me. There are so many women out here that are willing to actually clean your
build.
bum for you and do all of that, but you don't want them women.
bum you haven't
Why
washed
don't you
in
want
5
them
days.
women? Why do you want the women that wants a specific type of man and you can't provide what that woman wants for her, then get angry at her for not being what they can provide?
Yep.
You're angry at what you aren't. It makes no sense. Go for the women that are willing to lick your bum. Go for women that are willing to help you and heal you and grow you. But you don't want that because you want the independent, strong individual because
break
that
them
is
down.
to break them down because
Yep.
that's what you're actually attracted to. That's what your masculinity is attracted to. But you know you can't keep it because you're an insecure little dog that needs to go to therapy.
Therapy is so important.
It is
Stay
so
with the
important.
therapy.
Therapy is so important.
Therapy is.
It's the
Like-
best thing I've ever done in my life. I have therapy every Monday. Like I
so
feel
good.
like it's something. I feel like it should be talked about enough. And while more, your mental health is the most important thing in this entire world. Like that's what grows you. That's what heals you. That's what keeps you in like beautiful, prosperous relationships. So go to therapy and see if that works out for you. And stop constantly thinking I know myself too much to go to therapy. Then why are you the way that you are?
But you
Like-
know what? It's always the people.
girls.
It's always we can all do work on ourselves and go to therapy, but it's everyone else who needs to go to therapy. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like you can do all this work, and one thing that I realized when I went to therapy is I got a lot more accountable. I started realizing, you know what, maybe I can do better in these things, and I started seeing people for the way they are, and not for what they're doing to me, but for how they're feeling inside. So I was like so much more accommodating, and I was saying, you know what? It's because this is the way they.
That's why their childhood, it links
Yeah.
with that, it
But-
does that. I get you.
But then it's like, why is it on me to be accommodating?
But isn't it
'Cause I
more
did the
freeing
work.
for you though? Like
For-
expecting people to like be as healed as you is setting yourself up for failure all the time. So I always just say to myself, like, if I'm doing the work and I'm healing, then I can just push myself in the rooms of people that are actually healed, and I will
Yeah.
attract that more. So I'm not constantly pouring my energy into people that are not willing to take
vessels.
accountability.
That's
You're
true.
constantly around things that are draining your energy. Go to rooms that can fulfill you and understand you and get you. Like my friends now, they're smarter than me. And before I felt like I was lingering in this place of my intellectualism where I was around people that I was teaching constantly. I was pouring my mind into teaching them, and they're just looking at me like, wow, you're so smart. Why am I not around people that I'm like, wow, you're so smart and learning from? It's because I was addicted to like healing people. So if you're catching yourself as a healed person constantly around broken people, it's because you need the validation of that person saying, wow, you're actually doing well in
Saying
life.
something.
Like, why do you need that validation?
Like, even just because this is my situation is really the topic of conversation. Like, imagine, like, I'll drop his age, a 32-year-old man.
Yeah.
I'm 25. I'm actually a small babe.
You're a baby.
So I'm here creating that emotional appetite, because we talked about appetites in the last episode. I'm creating that emotional space, emotional appetite, but then you're like throwing it back in my face. Like, it's so frustrating being healed, knowing yourself, knowing how to communicate, and then someone who can clearly see that you are this person, and then choosing left, choosing to reverse.
That's not your job.
Do you get me? Like, throwing my words back at me, and like, you know, just trying to be manipulative, trying to like dumb me down. But like, the reason it got so frustrating, I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna give you some space, and you can deal however you want to deal with that shit. I'm gonna step back, because like, at a certain point, you have to realize when it's time to leave. And women, right? I want to say this real quick. Don't be afraid to leave, no matter the length of time, no matter how much you've invested in. Don't be afraid to leave, okay? And don't be afraid to turn down like something that you know is not for you deep down. I told my girl to break up with this guy that she recently was with, because like, he was saying things and doing things that were clear, and I don't really like telling my girl, leave him, because I feel like it's not my place. And you know, what if
it's
I say
my place? I will tell you to leave that dog. Continue, my love.
But like, but she was just like, it's so hard. I have to start again. I was like, babe, it's better than you being 5 years into a marriage and he's like, you know,
that's exactly.
Baby, you're losing your hair. Like, he's the like, sometimes, right, men, right, will be some men, or the man you're in a relationship with will be the reason why you're not moving forward. Like, it might be the reason why you're not going to like, you know, therapy, the gym, like you're not looking how you want to look. The bags on your eye are heavy. You haven't checked them in. Like, they're usually the reason. So once you leave that, you get to see things in the bigger picture. I make sure that every time I leave a situation, I'm coming out better than I was when I entered it. That's one thing you can promise for yourself.
Would you say they're the reason, or your need for them is the reason? Because at the end of the day, they're going to be like that with every other woman. So your need for having them in your life, we can keep bashing men all we want and keep saying, oh, it's a man that's doing this. Why do they have access to me, and why am I entertaining them in my life? It's never the man's fault. Men are shapeshifters. I completely understand that. But I'm just saying, you reach a certain point where you're seeing all these red flags. You're constantly seeing this being perpetuated in front of you, a cycle over and over again. It's no longer the man's fault. It's your fault and your need for having them in your life. And that's when you need to open your eyes and be like, is this worth 5 years of my life? Is this worth bringing this home to my kids? Is this worth me staying this long? I'm literally, because you know you're going to leave. We all know it's going to end anyways. Is this worth the time that I'm not going to be having with the actual love of my life? Because that's what you're doing. The amount of time that you're spending with that man is the lack of time that you have with the actual person that is going to fulfill you.
And just to even double down on that and just wrap it up, because, you know, we've been going on this for a little minute. I saw a TikTok and the woman said she had a wedding ring. I think she just got engaged, and she was like, this is not a ring that shows me he loves me. It represents me choosing myself and loving myself enough to wait for the right one. So listen, everyone got to do the work. It might not be pretty, but you got to do the work.
We need to take accountability.
So I have a question. Safe space?
Safe space.
Okay.
That's so cute.
I love women.
I was like, let me clear my nose, because shit.
You see, I've come to drink my water just in case David says something wild.
So, can I still call it a shower if I use bucket of water?
That's a...
Am I lying? When I go to hell?
You're going to bath. That's
It's going to bath. It's a bath. It's a bath.
I even want to ask Marie, have you ever bathed with a bucket of water?
No.
She doesn't know the struggle.
She doesn't know the struggle.
Have you ever had to boil water in a kettle just because your water isn't hot just to fill it?
I've done that. I've done that. I just never.
That's how you know you grew up in the gas.
Okay, that's just kind of done it.
I haven't had like hot water. You know what I mean? You just have to go kettle one.
No, see, in Nigerian families, you can have showers, but the parents will still make you bath with buckets and water.
Is it
in fact
cold water?
My mom is
like actual bucket with like a little cup
like
as well.
An actual bucket, and then you get like a smaller plastic container and you fill it up with water, and then you get the plastic container and you go.
Why?
I think it's a subconscious thing.
It's
where
a culture thing.
It's a culture thing where
like in Africa they don't have
the showers.
And they brought it here even though we have showers.
Like, our showers there, and it's like that. I'm like, ma,
you know what?
Come on, like, get with the program.
My mom took out the shower.
Oh my God.
She took it out.
Why did she do that though? I need to ask her, like, Mom, because she watches. Mom, why did you take the shower out?
Auntie.
Why
did
you take the shower out?
Come on.
We don't pay water bill. I can understand if you pay water bills,
but we don't.
But we don't
in Ireland.
We said no. Ireland said we are not paying the water tax.
Nada. But yeah, I just thought that was an interesting question, because like I won't lie. Like, let's say, for example, to Roz, I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to bath. But to Tyrone, I'll be like, I'm going to take a shower. He's not lying.
I say bath to everyone. I'm not code switching around my Negroes. Like, that is crazy work. Like, I'm not code switching around. I'm going to bath.
No, I think it just depends how I'm feeling on the day.
That's so true, to be honest.
But yeah, I wanted to ask, who here looks like they could get scammed easily?
Get scammed easily? Not me.
I have been scammed.
Not me. You can't scam me.
I've literally been scammed.
Why is Reese so quiet? Reese just looking left and right. She's like,
Yeah, I could definitely get scammed.
You know them on post no, but listen, I've literally put my number there, for, my address, my everything, all the time. Like,
Guys,
I am an idiot sometimes.
I fell for it.
I know.
I just fell for it
I'm
last
so
week.
gullible.
I fell for it last week. Yeah, because can I tell you how they got me? Yeah? They sent me a text. You know, like, don't laugh. Don't. Okay, it's a safe space. It's still, I haven't closed the safe space. So basically what had happened was, they texted me, your own post will text me, your package is coming tomorrow. Next working day. That same chat, right? So I trust that chat. I just see it. I'm like, yeah, come. So they texted me, Demi, I'd pay customs. I said, customs? So I clicked into it, put in some details.
Oh no.
But what I do is I put in Rev, because it's so easy to get your money back on Rev. So I put in Rev details or whatever. And like, cool. Like, and it was actually the on-post website. Like, it was crazy. I saw 270. I said, that's like, I'm rich. Yeah. I'm up. So I paid it.
You have to look at the email thing, and it shows like com or like dot. Like,
no, it had the on-post.
No, but if you look at the actual like space bar,
homepage.
But like, see, of recent, my vision, it's been a bit blurry.
Girls.
But
stop getting scammed, my love.
So I cancelled all my cards are cancelled now. Like, it's cool. Like, they tried to take 270 one time from Italy. Like, these men are in Italy, bro. Not even Ireland.
Defo VPN.
Yeah.
They're defo Irish and the VPN.
I moved into a house like a couple of weeks ago, girls. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We love
I'm
that.
not a D15 babe anymore.
No, she's closer to me now.
Yeah, we love that for you.
But tell me why I signed up with every provider.
Oh.
Like, every time the door-to-door salesman came, I signed up. I don't know, there was no
I can't
free
say no
stuff.
to them.
You get?
Because I've worked sales, so I know the feeling of like not
do
taking them in and doing things like, sales is a very
who
good
are
thing
you
for
with now?
anxiety.
Does she know?
That's so
I'm in my 14-day cool off period with all of them, so I'm just trying it out. You know, I got TV, broadband. Well, obviously I have broadband with one, but I have TV with 3. No, two. I tell a lie, 2.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm telling you now, that's why I laughed when you said, guys, if I get scammed.
You guys are funny.
It's not on post that's killing me. It's the
Do you find it hard to say no to people?
100%.
Yeah. Do you think it's like a people-pleasing tendency?
Yeah, I'm definitely a people pleaser.
Yeah.
See,
Guys, read the book, The Courage to Be Disliked. 10 out of 10. That got rid of my people-pleasing tendency away. I used to, like, I moved a girl into my house in 1 month that I knew her. That's how much I, like, literally, like, love people so much and want to, like, help and heal everyone. It's insane.
See, like,
I'm not that much of a
No, like, I am, like, not anymore, but, like, before, it was actually, you could kill me, and I would be like, oh, it's okay, like, maybe they needed to kill me for a reason. Like, it was so bad. Now I'm like, bitch, excuse my language, but, like...
I have my boundaries. I can't, like, I hold my boundaries, but my problem is I just don't like the word no. Like, I don't like using it. I don't like hearing it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's obviously from when I was younger. Like, my mom never used no with me. She used to use different words. So when I hear no, I get so irritated. Same. Like, it's like fire in my stomach.
It's subconscious.
Yeah.
I like the word no.
I don't.
I like the word.
I hate
if
the
you're
word
taking
no.
the piss with me, I'm saying no very loud and clear.
I love saying no to people now because of how, like, my relationship with the word no was throughout my entire childhood. Now it's like such a power thing for me to be able to say no, but because I was silent so much in my life, like, that word for me is power. I love the word no. Learn how to use it in so many different situations so you can actually avoid putting yourself in danger.
That's the thing.
Like, your discernment can be something, but not being able to say no, discernment goes out the window.
True.
You can get that gut feeling and you're still entertaining something that you should be saying no to. So if you can't say no to a salesman, you can't say no to, like, water or, like, tipping.
get paid
that will
anyways.
stem into relationships. That will stem into, like, everything. Like, don't take it
to yourself.
seriously.
Like, say no to yourself. You want to see? No.
Don't
I love
do
that.
this.
You want to spend? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, big purr.
The spending bit, I'm a bit light on, but Yeah, I'm starting to say yes because I feel like I always say no to myself.
Yeah.
Those who know me would know I don't
scarcity
spend that
mindset
much
for
on
me.
You say, if you don't mind me speaking on, Roz says yes to everyone else but herself.
Yeah.
And I vowed as her friend,
This
on the
shit-
very day I met her,
Yeah.
that I will teach her how to say no.
This year, I'm proud of myself. I
That's so
invested
cute.
€700 in raw hair.
We love that. Guys, raw hair is where it's at. God knows.
3
Invest
weeks.
in it.
My friend is currently in Vietnam, so I'm getting it straight from the source. So I was like, it's much cheaper as well. So I was like, how often do you have a friend who goes to Vietnam? So I was like,
get?
listen, just close your eyes. Just do it. Just
Well, you have to do it. It's good to spend on yourself.
It
Do
is.
you know who loves to spend on themselves, guys? Did you see Barbisky got a car cake?
Oh, yeah,
his
yeah. That was sick.
Card cake.
I love
Literally
Bob
eat it.
Risky. Send me
Yeah,
money.
he literally, just to make sure that people knew it was really made out cake, he cut it from all angles. So people knew this side was cake, that
that's
side is
just
cake, that's
silly,
cake,
like-
that's cake.
I think she's so like stuck on being, you know, external. Like, you get me? Like, she wants everyone to see what
To
she
see
has.
her, yeah. But Bobrisky just came back from.
I don't even know what pronouns to
I don't
use, to
even
be
know
very
what
honest.
pronouns to use for Bobrisky.
I'll say
because
they.
Even the name, it's not giving very feminine, and then
not.
you look kind of feminine. But you know, like
I think some people take the piss out of femininity by doing things like that because it's like, no, I know this is going to be a very, very controversial topic.
Let's get
to be
into
honest
it,
with.
girl.
We're okay with controversy.
I'm actually sure.
You're in a safe space. You're
Safe
safe
space,
here.
girls.
It's the fan. It's the fan.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of the times when men are not cosplaying women, but in that state where they're not fully transitioning, but they're in the stages of like playing with femininity, that comes from a deep rooted issue with femininity, like women actually having a space. Like, I have my gay best friend, right? I have to check my gay friends on their their misogyny all the time because I feel like a lot of men get away with saying certain thing about women when they're gay, like, or her body ain't tea, or she ain't like, or her face ain't this. And like, you know, you're still a man. You know, you're still a dude.
My uncle's gay, and he
Like-
once called somebody a heifer. He was like, "That's a fat cow."
That, and you're also a man. So why are you saying things like that? I feel like a lot of men go into female spaces cosplaying women or like cosplaying the identity of femininity to be able to dictate and be able to have your piece. You're still a man. So you cannot tell me that my body isn't tea as a man. You're a dude. So I mean, I really need
With a
that.
dick.
You're a dude with a peanut. Like, you actually need to have, we need to have these conversations more.
Yeah.
Because I remember my friend literally sent me a TikTok about this guy that was fighting a bouncer or fighting someone, and the bouncer was like, don't fight him. And he was like, why? He's like, the gay guy was like to the straight man, come out on the street, bitch, blah, 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 like that. And the bouncer was like, I advise you not to do that. And he's like, why? He does this all the time. He's going to report you for a hate crime if you hit him.
Oh,
So you're hiding behind your identity in order to make other people's life frustrating. Very wrong.
Wasn't there an actor who did that from Empire? He
Yes,
faked-
Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, he faked like hate crimes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous though.
That's
And
so
you
sad.
get away with a lot of things because in this society, being able to talk about topics like this is very transphobic or homophobic or whatever. But I am an advocate for women and women always. So I don't care if you say per period. If that's your identity, that's completely fine. But I'm always going to back a woman before I back any man. Whether you're gay or an ally or whatever, I'm always going to put women first. That's my premise in life. That's who I am as a woman. So I really feel like we need to have these more conversations about men infiltrating themselves into female spaces and acting as if that their identity protects them from being checked. Because I'll check you every time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, no, you ate. And like, I've obviously heard some things online as well about, you know, people who are transitioning or trans people, like, now are who they are and then thinking they can get away with certain things.
You can't.
Like,
Female sports.
female sports,
Guys,
yes.
apparently that happened in the Paralympics.
Yeah.
There was somebody who was trans who actually just won a female race in the Paralympics.
Their what's it? Estrogen.
ridiculous.
Yeah, their testosterone was low enough for them to compete, and they won the race.
No, I think it's actually transition. Wait, is it actually a thing?
He
transition-
actually won.
Was
He was a
no.
transition from male to female.
Oh, was he
was
an actual male first?
Yes.
Born a male. Oh.
Yes, and he had won races and he's passed as men.
That's
as a man.
ridiculous. That's so scary
So it's
as
not
a woman.
even a safe space.
I'm not even
for
talking
women.
about that. I'm talking about crimes.
Oh yeah.
Because you know what, yeah.
Oh yeah. Deep.
Not that like being a woman, you get away with stuff easy. I'm not trying to say that because women have been held accountable, have been put in jail for the crimes, but transitioning to a woman and then also now committing crimes, especially crimes around kids, I don't play with that. Because I've heard a lot of stuff about that stuff now, and it makes me very uncomfortable. So like, but because of how touchy the subject is, it's making us scared to talk about it. But we should really, really, really be highlighting these things because people are in danger now because it's becoming more, of a thing. And
women are in danger.
Yeah.
We're actually in such danger because of in the hands of what identity is supposed to look like. I'm so sorry. Like, you can call yourself whatever you want to, but if you put my life and children at risk, that's when I cross the line, especially with speaking about sex and LGBTQ and everything in schools. Whether we like it or not, being sexually attracted to another person, you can do whatever you want. But the minute that's brought up in schools and teaching kids about that, you're speaking about the sex life of two children, because that's what it is. If you're a man, you like men. That's sex. It doesn't change your biology. It doesn't change who you are as a person. Yeah. It's just what you're sexually attracted to. So why are you talking about sexual attraction to 5-year-olds? Why is my niece coming home? And I'd say the exact same thing with sex education being taught to minors as well. So when it's a minor speaking about how old were we, like 13 when we had the sex talk in school and all of that,
younger.
Why don't we introduce that at the same time we introduce LGBTQ? Why are the kids being taught that now? Kids should never be in the proximity of sex talk at all.
So to start off with what you were saying about trans people, like I've heard a lot of stories of like men who transition to women to get a lesser sentence if they've been convicted of a crime, which I think is completely crazy.
So
do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, whatever anyone thinks about it, people don't feel comfortable in their identity, and that's why they want to transition and that's why they want to change. I'm not going to say that I completely get it, but at the end of the day, it's not my life, and I want people to live the life the way they live it. Do you know what I mean? I think with trans, like with this whole trans life, and it's multiplied. Do you know what I mean? Like if you think about the LGBTQ plus community, there's so much boxes that people are putting themselves in, instead of just living life, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to know what you do behind closed doors.
I really don't care.
And it's not for me to judge. Do you know what I mean? I don't want you to know what I do behind closed doors. So it's like, we don't need to put people in boxes. Like, you don't need to
children
fit.
especially.
That's what I mean.
It's more so
You're
children
so right
that I have
about
the
that,
issue
because
with.
we don't walk around talking about our sex lives to anybody. Like, it's such a sacred thing to even speak about, because we were speaking about sex in the car. It's such a sacred thing. So why is it okay for other people to speak about sex so publicly as well? Like, there should be the same standard held with men, women, LGBTQ plus, whatever you identify, when it comes to the sexual thing, because that is a touchy nature to anyone. It could be trigger to people. So
and I agree with that completely. I think that like talking about sex lives within, like, especially in junior school settings, is crazy, because kids don't need to be exposed to that. Like, they're already online, they're probably already seeing things that they shouldn't. We don't need to talk about it in schools. But I do think they need to educate kids on families not looking like their own.
100%.
Because we are living in a society where there are same-sex couples, there are trans families that are having children. It might not be their biological ones, but they are having children, and it's trying to show children that, okay, mommy, you might have a mommy and daddy at home, but this person has a mommy and mommy at home. This person has just a mommy at home. This person has a daddy at home. And it's like showing kids, like, okay, it might not be your life, but you have to accept everyone. And I think that's what schools need to educate.
It's that's the only thing I feel like that should be educated, is the family dynamic and how it will look like. Just the whole sex talking and what's it about and what happens behind the closed doors. It should never be discussed. But you're so right with that, and that's something I didn't even think about. Like, I'll be so honest, I never thought about the fact that a kid could be like, my niece would come, and then my brother, he's a little bit homophobic. I'm not even trying to like justify that or whatever, but she'd be like, oh, I seen 2 women and daddy said that's bad. I was like, no, it's not bad, that's just their family. And that's actually okay with you. You're gonna grow up to figure out later, but just to let you know that's gonna happen, and that's things that you're gonna see. I forgot about that,
because that's how we're like raising kids with hatred.
That's really
like when
good
you're
point,
telling them,
and I'm
things
actually
that don't grow up with hatred.
I think for me, like, I have gay family, and like I just grew up with it. I never saw a difference. Do you know what I mean? Like I was just like, and I was like, oh, that's just what they do. And then it was like until I was like maybe like 13. It was probably around 13. I was like, oh, so they're weird. They don't do what my mom does. And I was literally like,
that's what's supposed to be. Do you get me? Like it should be like a gradual thing of realizing the same way as kids. Then when we realize about what sex, I actually know, like that's how I was born, but mommy and daddy and all. Like that happens on a natural time. And I think everything should be like that. It shouldn't be forced.
I think why kids, like what sort of, like it's a really hard one to navigate because with children as well, like talking about why children are sort of exposed to like sexual organs at a young age is to identify what's as well.
What's wrong when someone touches them in those areas. It's the safety.
It's a safety thing because like think again, like some people don't grow up knowing what's right and wrong because they're being shown things that they shouldn't be, and it's for like the school system to be like, this is not right.
That should be the parents, like.
But see, I saw something like that actually today it was going viral actually on Instagram and TikTok, and it was this mother to her daughter. I say the daughter is probably about like 5'6", and her mom is like, what's this? She's like, these are breasts. What is this? This is your vagina. This is your vulva. And she was like, what do we do when somebody touches you there? You tell mommy. So like this, she was teaching her child how to do this. And she was saying that like, she doesn't even call those bodily parts the nicknames. She calls them exactly what they are. And then certain people are kind of like, she's a bit too young for you to be teaching her that.
No.
But I hear
it's
it.
not.
Because
it's not too young. Because I remember
young.
being exposed to so much actual heinous things at such a young age. And I wish I had the anatomy in my brain of understanding. That goes straight to mom.
Bro, because
that goes straight to mom.
For me, like I remember like it's such a lighthearted story, but when I was in senior infants, I had a teacher and it was a male teacher. And I remember coming home one day from school being like, oh mom, Mr. XX has froggy underpants. And my mom was like, what? And she was like, how did that, like she said her whole body froze because she was like, why do you know?
Child.
You get, but honestly, nothing happened with Mr. XX. He just used to, every time he stretched, you could see that he had frog underpants. Do you know what I mean?
But the fact that your mom was so quick on to figuring out shows that she's an active parent. A lot of parents would kind of like...
Some parents might be like, and you said like it is down to parents, but some parents aren't parents, unfortunately. They haven't got to that, level of being a parent.
I think that's very prominent within the African household.
100%.
Because see, a lot of us, how many of us can actually say that our parents actually gave us a sex talk? My mom tried to give it to me, but I was like, you're a bit too late. I already learned this in school, so she didn't have to.
Kids were made in thighs until like
I'll be so
10 years old. I felt like because obviously when I was watching stuff, I see two human beings, like a woman and a man, kiss, and then suddenly in a couple scenes there's a child. So I just thought they kiss and the saliva would go down to their thighs because that's the only body part big enough to carry a child.
Yeah. That's so innocent.
And then, but when I figured out like how sex really was, I was horrified.
I think sadly, when I was younger, I was exposed to like porn very young. Like, if that's okay for me to talk on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I always had like a very hypersexual mind because of the things that were exposed to me. So I feel as though the conversation should be had 100% at kids, but check your kids' phone and their search history and things like that, because a lot of the things I battled now in my adult years has come from the things I was exposed to as a child. And I wish I had a little bit more guidance and places where people would be like, no, that's not something you watch. That's not something that you expose yourself to. So yeah, please check your kids' phone. There's a lot, especially on social media now. I think sex work is one of the biggest industries. Billions and billions, probably trillions that are put into it, because it controls the mind, the sex mind of a child. Like, I promise you, it makes demons. So please work on that, guys.
Yeah, 100%. I am a kid that actually went through that, and I just happened to say it to my mom. Like, one day she was showering me and I was like, yeah, this person did touch me here. My mom lost it. And then when she did like stand up, I'm very blessed to have the mother that I have, because my mom does not play around with her babies at all. My mom straight away, she believed every word I said, and she said it to like a family member and they didn't believe my mom. So it kind of caused like a little bit of drift. But even me being a 30-year-old, Guys, I still remember that day.
I still remember it.
I remember the
I
room.
remember everything.
I remember what was going on. I remember every single thing that happened that day.
Yeah.
Just a trigger warning for anyone that is listening.
Yeah,
So
true.
when I was like 9, I was exposed to that, and and then later on in my adult years, I finally had the huge argument with my mom, and it wasn't even meant to come out. And I was like, well, this wouldn't have happened if you were more said it. My mom couldn't even fathom the guilt that my mom had to not being in the home at the time when all of this was going down. Yeah. And I need a lot of people to realize it happens with women. A lot of women are the perpetrators to a lot of sexual assault to kids as well. But it's such a taboo subject because we always imagine like this big scary man that's doing it, but there's a lot of secret things with women that are addicted to porn as well that will show kids and expose you to it. Like I'm still healing from a lot of the things that I was exposed to as a child. That's why I'm celibate now, because I feel like I have to heal my sexual energy because of how it's been destroyed by other people's toxicity, honestly. But yeah, please, guys, it's your kids. It always happens to you. If you're 9 and a man, especially with boys, if a 19-year-old girl is trying to do something with you, that wasn't, oh, guys, I lost my virginity when I was 9 years old. No, you were assaulted. And I feel like a lot of men need to come to terms with that because a lot of you guys were assaulted and you use it as like this power trip or I've been in the game since I was 11. You were a baby.
Yeah, you shouldn't even know what that's
You
about.
were a baby.
Yeah, shout out to, in my opinion, Melinda. He had a story like that. It actually kind of like went viral where he was talking about the last, like when he actually lost his virginity, it was one of those situations. I think the story was kind of like he was in like a school camp or something like that, and a girl took advantage of him. Like he woke up and she was on top of him. So he was even saying that it was like he felt like he couldn't even talk about it because it was like, imagine going to your boys.
Oh, they'd be like, fair play,
bro.
bro. Like, yeah,
so
man.
it was something that he kind of like held deep within himself for a long time. But it's like, obviously now that he's a full-blown adult, he knows for a fact that like, that's SA.
That is SA. But I feel like a lot of them suppress it because it's very emasculating because as a child, you don't have the control to be like, get off me or stop this. And like in your adult years now, even when you're around women that will like slap your arse or like walk in and things like that, you're not registering that as SA, you're registering that as a man. Like you're kind of subjected to that regardless. And I feel like a lot of men need to have the conversation with themselves and ask themselves, have I been subjected to this? And has that actually warped my perception on sex? Because a lot of these men are sex addicts because of things that happened to them when they're younger. That literally is expressed in how they treat us, how they speak to us, how they hold us and touch us, and how their relationship with sex is as a whole. It comes from trauma. Yeah, so they need to, a lot of work needs to be done when in regards to childhood trauma and like being exposed to sexual things as a child, because you're perpetuating that now.
It happens a lot more than you think.
It does. It's so universal.
I remember I was like on holiday with a couple girls, and like I don't know, we were just imagine after eating pounded jam and everything, we just got into the conversation, and like it's so funny how like almost 4 in a group of 10 women have experienced this.
Preach it.
Like
4 is even small,
bro.
It's
like
a blessing.
It's probably
It's
I
absolutely
think
crazy.
every single woman has probably been
I think
SA
they
to a
have
certain point.
because every single woman I've ever bonded with and come to terms with, the one thing we have in common is being subjected to SA. Every single time. The one thing I know going into this situation, at least I can relate to that. And that's why trauma bonding happens and being attached to people with traumatic things is that it's so universal. So let's talk about it more. Why is it such a
conversation?
You know,
Stop
if
making it taboo.
if it's such a universal experience and we collectively have probably all gone through it in some stage, why don't we talk about it more?
I think women nowadays, because obviously it goes back to like what we're saying about like women using men, like validation from men, like women's focus. Some women's focus isn't focused. They're very unfocused. Like women are supposed to we're supposed to be a unit.
We are.
Because like you know how like let's say they've segregated black people for years and now we're just a flipping disorganized dysfunction big family. Women should really band together because there will be a lot of things that like because you could have the knowledge.
Yeah.
This woman doesn't. But if you share that, this woman now becomes stronger and she's able to make, and that has a positive knock-on effect on life.
Yeah,
but like, let's say for example now, because women see each other as competition and there's lots of insecurity and everything, like women aren't feeling comfortable to open up. I should be able, as a woman, standard, bare minimum, to be able to open up to another woman about
immediately.
what I've, immediately.
You're so right.
That's why like,
there should be no boundary. There
so
should be no
quickly.
boundary. I'm so sorry. Like, as a woman, if you side eye another woman for being open about her trauma, about the things that she's grown up to, you need to ask yourself, what do men look like in my life? Because it always will stand back to men. It will always stand back to, because how are you confused about a woman saying, yeah, I've been through that? Why are you like, oh my God, imagine opening about something like that? Why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't I be open to opening up to you? Because I know you've been through something as well. So why can't we have the conversation? I feel like a lot of people hold so much, how would I even say this, boundaries linked to their trauma, or they hold it up to their chest so deeply because it's a part of their identity, and sharing that identity is
it's
hard.
also shame. Because it's not every single woman that you're able to have this conversation with that will turn around and actually be so welcoming. And sometimes women will turn around and be like, it's your fault for that.
100%.
Why did you do that? 100%. It's never your fault that you got harassed. Yes, you could have probably handled situations a little bit different, but you never begged to be hurt.
And never.
You never begged to be touched. You never asked for it. So it's never their fault. Period.
It never should be even brought up in a conversation where it's, oh, what did you, no, it should be like, what can I do? What can I do to help you in this situation? What can I do? Can I be an open ear? Can I listen to you? Never, ever go into that kind of conversation where, what did happen? What did you do? Are you okay?
But we're having this conversation, people who are healed. You imagine you're having a conversation with someone who has also, we're open, we can understand that we've all experienced some sort of SA, but if you're talking to someone who still hasn't come to terms with their incident, and then trying to understand it is a triggering situation. And I'd love, like, honestly, like, I just love everyone. I'm here for good energy, do you know what I mean? And especially women, like, if a girl is upset, like, side note, some girl crashed into the back of me, my friend's car with me in it, and she started crying. Like, even though it was her fault, like, I just want to give her a hug because honestly, like, you genuinely, like, it's okay, do you know what I mean? And my friend was literally like, why did you do that? Because she actually did damage to the car. And I was like, but you know what? It's like,
insurance is for.
And you know what?
At least you're alive, you're safe.
And you know what? Sometimes you just need a hug, because I was like, if that was me in that position, sometimes all I need is a hug, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, and that's so good. I'm so happy that I'm surrounded on these couches with women that feel the
So
same way as
intelligent.
I do.
You're so right with saying that there is some women that actually are not ready to come to terms with things that they've been through. And I think as a person that's healed, I feel like we need to be able to meet people where they're at, because I feel like a lot of the time as healed women, or healing, because we could never be fully healed, we expect people to meet us where we're at mentally, spiritually, psychologically, instead of realizing that at one point we were at the stage of that person, the expectation that we're having for that person. So it's almost like asking a 6th classer to do a first year's homework. Like, no, but a first year can do a 6 years homework easily because they've been through that, they've studied that, they've graduated. So it will be very easy for them to go and say, let me help you with your homework. But expecting that 6th classer now to do the homework of a first year is almost near impossible. Or you can help them through it, but expecting them to do it with full colors is almost delusion.
To be honest.
So like, meet them where they're at.
And this is where, like, and this is why addiction and your childhood traumas are such, like, they're
interlinked.
They're so linked. So linked.
So much, a lot of addiction comes from people not being able to accept their inner demons or what their, like, cobwebs in their closet. Do you know what I mean? Because they can't accept what happened to them, so they use different types of things to escape.
Escapism.
And
And that stems in everything: drugs, alcohol, men, women. It can be, addiction does not have a label on how severe it is.
It's true. Your addiction can be men, it can be people.
It's a trigger. It's whatever helps you escape a reality that you're suppressing. Me, it's alcohol, right? And weed. So I don't smoke, I don't drink. I'm a year sober. We thank God. And I have friends that are that can drink and smoke, and it's so lit for them and it's so cool for them. But I know for me and the journey that I'm on, that can't be me. And that's okay, that can't be, because I know that it would be my addiction. That I was 19 years old, picking up, getting a bottle of wine by myself and drinking. Like, do you know how crazy that is? Like, for me as a young, and it's so taboo because it's wine. It's, you know, like, I have watched it. It was actually an addiction, and I was struggling. Then I got psychosis with weed, and I was like, oh my God, derealized for 2 years, didn't know what to do. And it's like, how are other people dealing with this addiction that I have like it's an easy, normal thing? That's why I always say I never judge a person for what they're currently addicted to, because I know that maybe to me that's, how can you be addicted to men? I hate men. Yeah, how can you be addicted to weed? I hate weed. That's the exact same thing. So I feel like we have to have a lot more sympathy for what people are so escaping, because we don't know what people are escaping genuinely.
True.
One thing I always like think about is like, sorry to even go darker. You know when Jesus died on the cross, right?
Yeah, honey.
He literally said like, God forgive them for they don't know. What I've learned in this journey is that like the more I gain more knowledge on people, things, a lot of things, the more I know a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
So so sometimes like even the guy I was dating that we were just talking about there, like although he did hurt me or whatever, I'm not fully mad at him because I just know there's just something there that he just doesn't know.
You're right. That's what
he needs. Like he just
There's
needs to go through
something
his
broken
thing
in him that he doesn't know how to fix.
because he
just
wouldn't
yet.
treat me that way. Because
He
I know that I
wouldn't.
wouldn't treat me like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you now.
So you have to have a lot of grace.
You're so right. Broken men don't choose to break women. Nobody, think about how guilty a fella feels after he's done. They will manipulate you and be like, it's not that bad. I promise you I didn't hurt you. I didn't mean to do that. They're going to try their hardest to soften the blow, because a man doesn't care if you're hurt. They just care that they're the person that hurt you. That's the reason why they do everything in their power to make them not the villain in your life, because nobody likes being the villain. And no matter how that manifests in their life with gaslighting you, manipulating you, buying you flowers after, they're genuinely in that moment trying to salvage something that they created. And that's where we as women need to start asking ourselves, is that man broken enough to, is that man healed enough to understand that he's broken? Because a lot of men are broken that don't know.
Yeah.
I would say my ex is probably the biggest blessing that ever happened in my life, because from that stemmed growth, stemmed understanding, the heartbreak. Guys, look at me, I'm a beautiful woman. That came from healing from that man, genuinely. And I used to hate him so much and wanted him to fail so bad. Like I would go checking his reposts and all just to see if he's still thinking about me, and just all these small things just to help me feel better about him being the villain, because I wanted him to understand that he was the villain. But he knows. They will always know.
They always know.
They will. The best revenge as a woman is understanding that man that is a villain is always going to, anyone that has hate in their heart is always going to always have hate in their heart until they decide to change. And that's going to manifest in other areas of their life.
100%.
You don't have to hold rage.
100%. Like finding your self-worth is like, it's just so important. Like
It is.
even look at the Beyonce song, Best Thing I Never Had.
My favorite. One of my favorite
Like
songs.
it's one of my favorite songs. She wrote that song about her ex-boyfriend, the guy that she was with before Jay-Z. I don't know if it was a thing where he just couldn't handle the fame. But like, can you imagine being that man? He has to watch his ex be one of the most successful women.
You will
on
see me
the
on every
planet, 'cause
billboard.
he never saw her worth. And it's like, for me, the one thing that I learned from my last relationship as well is like, I actually remember asking the question, being like, what actually happened in your last relationships? And this was after he had hurt me. I asked the question and he couldn't tell me.
Oh my God.
He couldn't tell me because it hurt him too much to tell me. He didn't want to go deep down in there. So it became a thing when I started to realize all the things that he was doing to me. I was like, this man is broken.
Yeah.
And then I would find out like he would disappear out of my life and he would always come back strategically when his friends were moving on in their lives of women. So the day his best friend was engaged was when he texted me.
Happened to me.
The day another one was getting married was the day he called me. Then there was another time where something happened and someone else got engaged. That's when he called me. So every single time other people were moving on in their life and they were doing good with the girls that they loved, he remembered that there was a good girl on the other end of this phone and he felt like he could pick up the phone and call. And he did not know that I was noticing these things. Because I would just randomly notice the timelines and be like, how come every time you're ringing me, somebody's engaged, someone's getting married?
It's a reminder.
What
You're a
on?
constant reminder of what he could have had.
Honestly, I know he still watches, he still follows. I'm still in his close friends. He's in his private
My
stories.
ex won't leave me alone.
And it's a thing where it was like, I remember when it came to like relationships and stuff, this was a guy that kept on saying, you don't have the title yet. One day, I don't know what it was that just woke up in me, that I was like, who does he actually think he is saying that I don't have a title yet? What makes him think that he has a title? I woke up just randomly one day. I was like, God just dropped it in my head in sleep or something. I woke up being like, who the fuck does this guy think he actually is? And that was the day I was like, never.
Never again.
Never.
Guys, don't ever be the girl that man spins the block on. Why are you still at the same block? Move. Like that guy went a new block, a new block, a new block after that, and he spun the block and you're still stood there. Like, what are you doing with your time?
This girl said,
Bro.
she was like, so this guy ordered a burger. Right?
Not the pickles. It was such a
And
good
then he was
analogy.
like, what? I didn't order these pickles. And he put the pickles in the bin. And then imagine you're the pickle that came out of the bin and said, hey, why'd you kick me out the burger? You don't want to be the pickle. I never want to be the pickle ever in my life.
Never. And majority of the time, the spinning the block thing, it don't work. It doesn't work because you're both healing now from trauma from each other. The broken relationships, you're also healing from the hurt. Majority of the time, the relationships don't work. And as much as you think, oh, you love this person, if you look at all the people who have spun the block recently that aren't together, Maya Jama and Stormzy.
Didn't work.
Even Maya even said it. I know Reed doesn't want to let this one go. I low-key don't want to let it go either. But
It's
even
a conspiracy, bro.
even like their joint.
No, they're together. They actually are together.
No, their joint statement.
I'm not even gonna speak about it because I know you guys want to be happy. So
No.
listen.
Their joint statement literally said it was a case where it was like they were each other's first loves, first proper relationship. They broke up for 5 years. They became different people in those 5 years. When you have become those different people and you're reminiscing on the person you once was, you're not going to
Recipe for
blend
disaster.
together anymore because they're not the same people anymore.
But how does marriage work?
Because you're growing together.
Yeah.
Within
grew
a
apart
covenant
for 5
In a
years.
covenant, you're actually witnessing the growth within each other and you're growing. Breaking up with an ex, I'm a new person than my ex. He will never get to touch this version of me, like ever.
Never.
And I feel like a lot of women need to ask your partner that you're in a relationship with now, what is something that your ex taught you about yourself? And how they respond to that will tell you everything that they're at mentally with their ex, mentally with themselves, everything. Like when a person asked me that, I was stunned. I was like, oh, what did he teach me about myself? That I was insecure, that I didn't love myself, that I needed a lot more work done.
That was it for me too.
Do you get me? Like there's a lot of things that your exes have taught you that you should use to pivot through life now. Because I find it very, like we're always stuck in this reminiscing stage. He did this to me and what did he do for me? Instead of being, he did this. Now he did this. This growth and this understanding about myself, that came from heartbreak. So I'm going to stop like that whole reminiscing on the hatred of what he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
He did.
That's why
Change the tone, mamas.
I'm not really like a woman that cuss people out, but even if I've dated a guy and it didn't end well, like I'll never stand here and cuss him out or anything. I might say stuff like, "You sure?" and
She doesn't have to cuss him out because I'll do it for her.
Yo, guys.
Yeah, true. But like at the same time,
Tired
like,
am I? I'm
it's
like the
'cause-
soft babe, like the soft, like you're gonna regret that. Like literally, I got a call from England when by the girl that my ex was cheating on me with, and she FaceTimed me and she was like, "I'm in his bed right now," and he was playing football there, first week there, and I literally responded with like, how was training? I hope you'd had a great day. Blocked him, but obviously my alcohol and battling that. When I was drunk again, I was working the festival. I called him and then reminisced. But when I thought about how I left that relationship, that's how I should have left it with simply, God be with you. Because how are you going to get a woman, a full-grown woman, to bell up my line while I'm in Ireland and you're in England? You're a slut. Like, you're actually disgusting. You
Even the woman.
No, but
I'm in this bed right
she
now.
made it very clear to me
How
not to take this
disgusting he
man.
was.
Yeah, she was like,
Any man
she
who can do
literally
that to you has
described,
no
like she
respect.
literally described to me what this man did to her, like, and everything else. It's like,
Yeah, like I feel like guys place emphasis on like, you know, looking at the woman's like the men the woman has dated, but we as women should also look at the type of woman
the man has dated.
But you know, the majority of like when you actually like deep in, majority of guys don't tell you the women they dated.
That's when you do
A
your
lot of them
research.
don't. You have to actually go
Research.
That's why I
deep
ask guys
into
like,
it.
what's your type? Because if I'm not your type, you're gonna treat me like a bin bag.
I'm telling you now, never ever ask a man what his type is. Figure it out through how he treats you, his social media, the
'Cause they
things
will
that he
lie to
exposed
you.
himself. They can lie. They will lie. They will lie. Evidence is the best. Like literally the best way of going through life, like watching it and seeing receipts and seeing how he reacts to that.
100%.
Because like a lot of these, they will tell you whatever you need to hear.
Yeah.
Like
I think-
discernment, guys.
One thing I've kind of learned moving forward is like, I'm a podcaster. I love questions, but I'm just not gonna speak anymore. I'm just gonna let action speak. For
No,
himself.
it's
like no, don't get it twisted. I'm still gonna ask. I'm still gonna do it. However, I'm a talker naturally, and obviously by God's grace, I'm gonna meet a man that obviously can handle a talker. But before, with guys that weren't, supposed to be with me, like I was talking and I was asking questions, but forgetting that these men can lie and manipulate and paint a whole perspective. But nowadays, like I won't lie to you, after this camera's shut, I actually don't like talking too tough. I'm actually tired of speaking.
But do you not like talking because of like the consequences or what's happened in previous, or do you just not want to talk?
No, sometimes like there's no need to speak. Sometimes you feel like you need to speak just to fill the space, or because it's like quiet. Sometimes like just enjoy the silence.
Yeah. Do you think that you in the past was filling up that silence because you're afraid that he's gonna see parts of you that you're not ready to see? Yeah.
No, like I just felt like I didn't want to be boring.
That's what I mean. Like
I didn't want to be boring.
You just weren't ready. Like I felt like that. I can't even explain how much I relate to that, because like in my past relationship, he would go silent all the time, and I needed to fill the space because I was like, no, there has to be something to talk about. There has to be something, because I was so scared of silence, because I didn't want that silence to be him thinking about how bad I am, or how to get someone better, or see my flaws. So I'm constantly distracting them. With my mind and my thoughts and everything. Some men actually just want the peace of mind of your presence.
And it's not even for the men, it's just for me.
For me, for you, it's a peace for you. Like
just enjoy.
Oh my God, I met this guy, and oh my God, I kind of regret like how it turned out, because he met me psychologically, mentally, spiritually, everything. Like I'm not messing. He's the only man in this planet. If you're watching this, Luke, I like you.
Luke, come back.
No, on the realest thing, like he's the only person that was my best friend, and I could understand this man on a deep, deep level. And he understood me. Only man that's ever made me cry real tears when he told me, "You're operating in your masculine energy right now. And I can see it. The pain is coming to you." I was like, "Oh my God, where did God bring this man?" Then the emotional side of things, he could not meet me emotionally, and I feel like a lot of the times as women that we try to compromise or negotiate what quality a man can have, because we don't feel like they can have all of them. So we're like, he has to be smart, he has to have a job, he has to do this, he has to be emotionally smart. And then when he doesn't come with the emotional smartness, we're like, well, at least he has this and this. I deserve an emotionally and physically, spiritually intellectual man, and I'm not compromising or negotiating that anymore.
Well, you said right there, he turned around and he said, you're operating in your masculine mindset. That portrays a very emotionally intelligent man.
He is very, very emotionally intelligent, but he doesn't know how to meet me where I am at. He's very, like, when I mean, like, one of the only men that's ever made me think that, okay, men can be normal, like, genuinely. Then I was like, he just goes numb out of nowhere. Like, he just wasn't the type of person that I could meet him. Okay, let me say this. If a man finds it very difficult to be emotional with himself, there is no way that he's going to be able to gauge when you're about to go into an emotional state, because we can only perceive things from our level of perspective, right? We're never going to be able to understand levels, that person's experience. We can only see from our lenses. So if I have never been able to understand why I'm crying, where those tears are coming from, why I should stop crying, why would I expect a person, why would I be able to see that in another person? And that's where I felt like with him, it was that he was never going to be able to meet me emotionally. And I would rather find a person that ticks off all the boxes than have to compromise something that is so literally important. The glue of our relationship.
But you not think about like the 80-20 rule? Do you know what I mean?
I understand that, but like with the emotional side, I am such an emotion. That's a non-negotiable for me. I could go without the finance, whatever. Like we can like build together. If you have the like intellect and all of that, I'm young. I'm 20 years old. Like I can also have that with that person. Like we can build together with that, but the emotional side, and I'm so emotionally aware. I'm so aware of myself. Yeah. I can't negotiate that. Anything else, I can do it. The smarts, the intellect. I don't care. You can read about 25 books if you want to. If you don't know how to gauge when I need your warmth. I think
emotion is so important.
I think it should be everyone's non-negotiable.
That should be. But loads of people don't have that non-negotiable.
A lot of people are lacking it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm someone that I'm very emotionally intelligent, but it's like I feel like from my history, I switch off emotionally.
That's it. Yeah.
I switch off like emotionally very quickly. Like I'm so good at suppressing it. Yeah. There was a point this year where I was really going through it, and the only reason why that the emotion came out is because alcohol was involved. Like
We're talking
everyone
about
kept
that.
on asking me, being like,
I'm so
why
proud
is she
of
not
you.
crying? Like, what's not going on? Like,
It's
are
called
you okay?
it's
okay to cry.
disassociation.
Yeah,
I've
dissociation.
learned to dissociate my emotions to another level, to the point where sometimes it gets a little scary. But like, I'm okay with people. I can
was
tell when
him.
people are upset. If people are upset, I know how to be gentle. But with myself, I just switch off.
Yeah.
But
That's where you're right with the he's emotionally intelligent. Being emotionally intelligent and also being able to feel your emotions are two completely different things. Because you can be, let's say for an example, a person that murders people, they know murdering is bad. They know that is a wrong thing to do, but they're still doing it. It doesn't change the fundamentals of the fact that, like, I understand you feel those emotions, but I can't meet you there because that's just who I am as a person. I feel like there's a lot of damage. People, like, being emotionally intelligent and be able to gauge other people's emotions doesn't make you an emotional person. It just makes you like aware of emotions. Like, no, I don't even know how to explain it in words.
I get what you're saying, because I know, like, some of the most emotionally intelligent people I know, and like the most empathetic people I know, disassociate when it comes to their own emotions.
Fact.
Because it's like they give so much energy into everyone else that they don't want to give it to themselves, because they don't know how much it might break them.
We feel like we're not worth our own emotional stability.
Yeah.
I feel like when I pour into myself and try regulate my own emotions, I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, am I gonna cry right now? There's no point of crying right now.
can be okay.
I intellectualize my own emotions to the point where I don't even feel them anymore. And whereas when I'm with another person, and that's the reason why I feel like therapy for a lot of people is very difficult, because we are so aware of ourselves. And we're like, if she tells me that this is stemming from my childhood, I don't really care, because she's telling me that. I know that. But when you're able to have that awareness, you're able to meet other people where they're at. But truly to yourself, if you can't really feel yourself, you're never going to have a thriving relationship. Like, it's always going to be stagnant and difficult. And that's something I'm working on with myself, because whoever I end up with deserves that, me to be able to feel myself. And that's when you said at the start, loving yourself is the most important thing. And how can you love yourself if you can't even feel your own emotions?
I think it's a very thin line, because for me, like, I can be like such an emotional person, do you know what I mean? To the point where I don't even like recognize myself, because I get so absorbed with emotions. So I feel like I don't disassociate. Sometimes I wish I had disassociated, because it's like I just feel so much. And it's like, and I sort of wish, not that I wish, I think it's better if I could sort of rein in, because when I go down in that state, I can't like sort of suppress, like I can't stop it. And it's like,
That's why I say emotional regulation is the biggest thing. We're allowed to feel all these big, huge emotions. But what do you link your emotions to? Weakness? Do you link it to sitting down in a dark room and thinking about all the time? Or do you link it to picking up a paper and writing art, writing poetry? How are you regulating and emulating this emotions into your physical realm of reality? A lot of us think that being an emotional person has to be sitting and crying. No, it can actually literally just be you going and making art, or you talking to a friend, or you writing it down. You even sitting on a podcast and sharing to the world how to regulate it. That's our problem, is what we link being emotional to is always a weak state, and it's not this amazing euphoric thing it can be.
you're dead right.
No, go on.
I'll say on the bus, because on the bus is where I do my best thinking.
Of course.
So, like, basically, I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, when people are like, cool, your feelings are valid, but they're saying, don't act on your emotions. How do you guys feel about that? Because obviously, like, fair enough, like, obviously I have common sense. I know that, cool, my feelings are valid, and not to really act on emotions, because emotions are temporary and they can result in long-term,
I think
results.
it kind of comes from a place of, are you the type of person who goes a bit crazy when you act on your emotions?
What does your
Like
emotional regulation look like?
Yeah.
If you punch me in the face, I am valid to feel
That
hurt,
way.
but I shouldn't punch you back.
Exactly.
I think people get those things, I think people get those things mixed up now.
Can I ask you a question? like you have to remember who's telling you not to act on emotion.
Because no, this is not me.
That's what I'm saying. In general, when a person says this to you, you need to ask yourself, the person that's asking me not to act on emotion, how have they seen me in the past react to my emotions? Are they saying that?
Intelligent people?
Are they telling me this because when I act on emotions, I punch holes in the wall? Or are they telling me this because I go into a depressive state? Ask yourself, the person that's asking you not to act on emotion, how have they reacted or responded to me when I was acting in emotions in that experience I had with them? Because a therapist is going to tell you to act on emotion, but they're going to tell you to go for a walk. That's your emotion. Go for a walk. But that person going to know that, girl, I know you crazy when you're acting in emotion, so don't act in emotion. Think.
Are
walk
feelings
away.
and emotions the same thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no. Feelings are an internal sensation, whereas emotions, they have a physical way. They manifest in a physical. Yeah, they manifest in a physical way. Whereas you can feel like you have a thought in your brain and you feel it, it passes. Like it goes through your body and it passes. Whereas an emotion is something that you sit with a lot longer.
Yeah.
That's bang on right.
I feel like I've been quite emotional these past few months. And like how I try to regulate my emotions is obviously through prayer, it's through confiding in my friends, and it's just through the word of God, and also like in myself. As I said to you guys earlier, I hate asking myself why, but asking myself why I feel this way, why am I going through this, how did this start, like really has really allowed me to really like, express myself properly, because I understand because I used to move very emotional.
Do you journal?
Yeah, I do. Like I remember, I think I said it on Instagram, like ways for me to lock in. 'Cause I really want to lock in this year and really achieve all my goals. So it's amen. Thank you. So it's like reading the Bible, journaling. Like I use my Pinterest to really focus on what I actually want. And thank God, like some of my stuff on my Pinterest has come to manifestation about the woman I want to be. My favorite quote is, discipline is reminding yourself of what you want. Discipline in emotions, discipline physically, discipline mentally, in regards to like increasing your knowledge, in regards to waking up every day and choosing that you want this. Because I realize that if you don't do the hard work, it will really have a knock-on effect on the people around your life. Like, let's say, for example, if I didn't do the work, I don't think this podcast would be here today.
It wouldn't.
We wouldn't have the connection we have today. I wouldn't have the amount of connections I have today. Like, it really, but what I really notice is really you.
It is.
It starts with internal
and the thing
and affects the external.
You're so right about that, because I feel like what makes me such a disciplined person is that I actually have a very intimate relationship with versions of myself throughout a timeline. Whereas 6 a.m. today, I'm up because I know 8 a.m. me needs to have my gym done, my this done, my this done. I'm constantly thinking about
your future,
my future self
needs.
Because when you have a relationship with your future selves, it makes you in the now do whatever it is to make Mercy at 6 p.m.'s life easier. And I keep doing that, keep doing until it becomes a habitual trait. It takes 3 weeks for you to be able to adopt a trait. So just do it. For like a week, try your hardest. If you're finding it very difficult, build a relationship, a healthy relationship with your future self, and be like, I'm doing this for you. Because you're not competing with yourself. I feel like a lot of us go into this world like, oh, I gotta be better than I was yesterday. No, I'm doing this so that me tomorrow is better. I'm not competing with yesterday.
Stay in your lane. Focus on yourself.
I'm not competing with yesterday. I'm making tomorrow's life easier. Stop competing with yourself. Especially as a woman, if you want to embody your feminine energy, start having a relationship with yourself.
Let's get the stories.
I was like, let's get the story out.
Yeah.
Because I was like, guys, we could literally talk
For
for about 5
ages.
hours.
Not gonna lie.
Like this,
It's even turning
no,
dark.
I was gonna say we even need to get you back because this you're too good. You need to write a book.
Girl, bye,
I was just
guys.
thinking that.
No, I'm being dead ass. I'm being dead ass. Like I'm being dead ass.
You are some of the most amazing women. Like sitting here, I'm like mesmerized. You've taught me so much.
Guys,
like when
You taught me.
on the realest thing, like when I'm sitting down and listening to you speak, I'm just like, wow, like seriously.
And I hope people are able to like, because I won't lie to you, these conversations are hard.
They're hard.
You're right. They're very hard to
trigger
listen.
Warning.
Yeah,
Before this.
from start to
From
finish.
the start, in the
like
beginning,
even
I'll
the
drop
part
it.
about emotions, like it's so hard.
Yeah.
And you need to be in a place to listen. Some people might have tapped out.
Yeah.
30 minutes, and I just pray you come back.
You will when you're ready.
I was actually talking to Roz. It's basically, there's this podcast called I'm talking so fast. There's this podcast called To My Sisters.
Oh.
Can I tell you why I stopped listening to them?
Why?
They were hurting my ego.
There you go.
So every time, like, So I have to stop listening. I've stopped listening to them for a while now, and I haven't come back because
I'm
obviously I
so
started my own
fucking
podcast.
proud of you that you're able to gauge that.
No, bro, because like they would
I
say
love
some
that.
stuff, and I'm just like, I'm not ready
too
for that.
real.
And you know what? Yeah, it's okay not to
I'm
be ready,
like that.
but when you're ready, please spin the block.
I'm
And
so
listen.
proud. Like, I'm not joking. The fact that you're able to say that it came from your ego was crazy because,
Bro,
think
ego's
about your
the
ex.
enemy.
I'm saying, oh, I don't like her. I don't like this. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like that. They don't like that because it's showing them something they don't have within themselves. And you're able to clock that just shows that you're already on the path to be able
Yeah.
to open to that.
Yeah.
Girl,
You're aware.
You really have to realize, like, 20 years old, like, I'm
And this
pushing-
much
I'm 25, guys. I will be 25 forever. Don't ask
Amen.
me
Woo,
anymore. Do you get me?
babies.
But, like, 20 years old, like, I was a
Having this-
menace
I wish
to
I was
society
like
at 20
this
years old.
20.
Do you know what I
done
mean?
the work
I
and the
would've-
work shows.
But I'm not joking. It's just the way that my life has been at trauma and the shit
grew.
that I've been pushed into. I've lived the life of probably a 50-year-old. No word of a lie. Like all the things I've been through has
Especially with a bottle of
literally
wine.
shaped-
That's what
God,
30-year-olds
I'm
do.
telling you, the things that I've been through has shaped me so much now. So I will say, like, I will never say your maturity and your intellectualism is linked to your age. It's a link to your experience and what
Yeah,
you're
it's
willing
like
to
experience,
learn.
bro.
You're dead right.
100%.
But you know what? Like, I'm just like, I just wish you honestly the best, girl. Like, your
you, man.
growth is amazing. I can't wait to see
I
your
love watching
growth
you.
continue
you, guys.
because it's such a beautiful journey. Like, girls, we will get to the story. Sorry,
Yeah, no, you're
but
fine, baby.
I just think like we all sat here. We had such open and informative conversations
This is
about
one of my
hard
favorite
topics.
conversations, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really hard
I was
topics.
gonna cry halfway through. I was
Yeah,
holding.
no,
I was holding it.
so close
I
on
would
you.
lie, like when you guys were talking about the essay, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Triggered, but
And you
I'm
know,
here-
it's so funny because we didn't even plan on.
Oh, I
opening
thought they
up,
were
you
gonna
know.
be like,
We never planned. We're usually here to gist, but like this type of gist is so important because these are the conversations that little girls are not able to have sometimes within their families, with
Yeah.
their older sisters, with their moms. So you've got us, guys. You've
Guys, my
got us.
DMs are always open.
Always.
As
open.
are ours.
It will be 2 to 3 days reply, but I'll get there.
I respond quite quickly.
The honesty is key. God knows.
Okay, right. So the story is no contact with my parents for 24 years because they tricked me into giving up my baby.
Wow.
Would I be
Fair.
the asshole for refusing to see them before my mother dies?
Shit.
Yeah. I haven't spoken to my parents in 24 years. At 16, they tricked me into signing adoption papers for my baby, born after a teenage pregnancy. They kicked me out, harassed me for an abortion, and even attacked my boyfriend and his mother. But they claimed a change of heart, so I trusted them. That trust was betrayed when they took my baby. I didn't see him again for 20 years. Now with my mother dying, they want reconciliation. I'm torn. Sorry, I just kind of lost there. I'm torn, but the pain and the anger lingers. Can I forgive them, or should I protect myself and maintain a distance? I gave birth at the hospital where my parents had taken me, but they had lied about contacting my boyfriend and his parents. I was heartbroken and betrayed. After escaping their toxic grasp, I reunited with my boyfriend and his family. We healed together. Years later, when I had my second child with my now husband, trauma resurfaced. To feel safe, my husband and mother-in-law and I had a support team waiting at the hospital. His dad, his siblings all stood on guard outside. Overkill maybe, but it brought us comfort this time. Love surrounded me and healing continues. So that was when she had her second baby. So she has given birth to 4 babies, but her heart ached for her firstborn, whom she had to let go. Every year on his birthday, her husband and her would keep a tradition alive. They bought a Matchbox car, they baked rhubarb sponge pudding, they'd sing happy birthday and always make a wish and take a photo with their other kids. 4 years ago, while she was away at a softball camp with her daughter, her husband called urgently. She had to rush home to find her firstborn standing at their doorstep. She was speechless about the moment and emotions that flooded her soul. She was grateful for her being able to rekindle her relationship with her eldest, adopted by an older couple. They video call often and he spends Christmas with them. She celebrates his birthday with him now and they support him on tough anniversaries. She bakes him a peach sponge cake pudding, which is his favorite, and his adoptive parents gave him love. She wishes she got to meet them. Her dying mom and estranged in-laws want to reconcile after years of cruelty, including taking my son from me. My husband thinks I should let them see our success and meet all our kids to rub it in what they have missed, but I'm torn and still filled with hatred and resentment.
Okay, first I want to console whoever wrote that, and I'm so proud of you that you're a grown woman, had your kids, and didn't allow the trauma to stop you from having more children. Four kids is like that's big work.
So that's even 4 more. So she has 5 altogether.
She has 5 babies,
and she's still with the same man.
Shout out to that man.
Shout out to that man. He's an OG.
Yeah,
He's a good guy.
He's a good man.
He's a good man,
He's a
Savannah.
good man. But to be honest, we all know what she needs to do.
She needs to go see
The
her
mom
parents.
is dying already, anyways. Say hello.
I
Go
think
on,
the
say
reason why I think she needs to do it is because so she doesn't ever live with regret.
Exactly.
What if it's the
What if it's
Yeah.
a killer? It's a silent killer, and I
Literally
do
is.
think forgiveness as well is one of the most freeing feelings in the entire world. I literally was talking to one of my friends about how there's so many people that I've wronged in my life of growing because I did battle through so much, and I will say that I use my trauma as an excuse to be toxic to other people, and I would be damned if they're sitting in their room thinking about my failure and not wanting me to do well because of what I've done for them. So the forgiveness that you should give to people stems from wanting forgiveness of being the villain in other people's lives. So free yourself from holding onto that grudge and understand that your mom is still a human and your parents, this is their first time living. I'm never ever going to sit here and justify what they've done, but I will understand them from a human perspective. And also you go there, you had your success, see your mom. You don't even have to rub it in. The rubbing in is watching your children grow and also having a reconnection with your child.
Yeah, because they're always going to live with regret. Because at the end of the day, when they see you now, they've seen all the years they've missed. What, 24 years?
So many grandkids.
So many grandkids that they
parents
have
love grandkids.
My parents,
they've never met. So it's one of those things where it's like her punishment is having to see your success anyways. And not being part of it. And she's literally dying. That's actually punishment enough. To know that she has missed 24 years of your life.
Of her baby's life.
Of her grandbabies as well. Like, that's punishment enough.
Yeah.
And it's probably been weighing on her for years. And again, I'm not sympathizing or being that type of person to justify it. But I'm just saying there is nothing that you can say or not do that's going to weigh the regret that she already has within herself.
She's already feeling it.
Do you ever hear that saying, like, when I read it the first time, I actually sobbed. But it was like, it's your mom's first time doing life too.
100%.
And it's like, you can put that, okay, to parents, but you can put that to anybody in life. And it is something that I genuinely think I live by
that.
because it's like, we're all doing this for the first time. We can't say we weren't here before, you know what I mean?
That was one of my first viral TikToks that I said that I was just like, guys, like when you look at someone and realize, damn, you've only been doing this once as well. Like we're all trying to figure
Just
this
a
out.
human being.
Yeah.
You get me?
Literally.
We're all just spawned here and like expected to live. So that's like if you ever feel like you're not able to relate to someone as well, we're obviously going to go back to the thing. Just remember, if you have anxiety and you're scared that you have nothing to relate to, being human is the one thing that all of us can relate to.
I like
8
that.
billion people universally can relate to waking up on a random day and having consciousness and operating through life. That is enough to talk about with someone for hours.
Yeah.
100%.
I think as well, like, hate holds so heavy on your heart, your body, your mind, your soul, everything. And it's like, yes, there can be anger there. You don't have to forgive, but you definitely need to let go.
I think because she sounds like she's someone who's a great mom, do it for your kids.
Do for your kids.
Because that's part of their heritage. You don't want them growing up to be like, I never met that grandmother while she was alive. Because you're also holding them back from a certain experience and a type of love that they're never going to receive again because this person's about to leave.
It's not about you only. It's a universal thing between you and your partner as well, and just everyone involved.
It goes a lot deeper.
It goes deeper than...
I also think she owes it to herself to be able to stand in front of her mom and let her mom apologize.
Exactly.
I think she deserves that. You owe it to yourself to be able to get that.
And don't go in expecting an apology either, because you could be very disappointed with the reaction.
I think she might not get the apology the way she wants it, but it sounds like
Exactly.
the parents are remorseful.
100%.
Because that's why they're
They could be.
looking for her. Because if they weren't remorseful, they wouldn't look for her. It's been 24 years. 24 years is a long time for you to already move on. But they know they're about to go right now, and they're like, I want to fix this with my child before I leave. Because at the end of the day, you are half of them.
You are my
They
mom.
want to be able to look at you. And it's a thing as well where I feel like something like that is very like popular within like the Black community. And that comes with like shame. Like there's one time, I know my mom watches this, so mom, don't be upset about this, but there was one time when I was moving in with my ex-boyfriend, my mom said something like this, where she was like, if you get pregnant, I'm making you get rid of it. And it came from a place where it was like, she felt shame that if I was to have gotten pregnant outside of marriage, what would the rest of the family look at?
like?
And that's what
Exactly.
those parents were doing. But in life, the rest of the family would have been okay.
That age, actually.
Everybody would have been fine.
Everyone would.
Everyone's life would have moved on
Perspective, honestly.
continuously.
I always forget about our parents' reputation linked to our behaviors.
Yeah.
Even though we shouldn't be living life and operating thinking about how our parents are going to react to how we are, they're going to still respond. And I realized just when you said that, thank you, I got a little epiphany. My behavior growing up is like, no wonder my parents were so stressed. No wonder they had such a strict way of parenting me, because whether I like it or not, I am a product of a lot of their trauma as well. And I feel like I just expect them to understand why I'm the way that I am because of their lacking and neglect. But at the end of the day, they're still adults and human.
They're human.
I think
exactly.
as soon as I realized that my parents are actually human beings as well, I stopped being mean to them.
Yeah, same.
Sure enough.
My
But
mom
actually-
came into my room today with her Zara outfit on and she was just twirling her. I was like, you're just a girl. Like, you made me, like, I actually made me just want to get up and all. And like, seeing her little station with all her perfumes and all, I'm just like, you're actually just a girl.
No, I want to
Literally.
protect my mom.
Like our parents
Oh, I
have
love her.
sacrificed so much. So it's like the shame and the embarrassment. It's not towards you, but it's more so like they just want so much for you. They
And
want you to be so many levels better than what they are. They never want you to go to their struggle, through their pain. And that's what I think her parents were trying to do for her. But the unfortunate thing was that she actually had good people in her life. They never gave the people in her life a chance to be there for her.
Because they make the decision
They
for
made the
us
decision
always.
and
Yeah.
that's where sometimes parents need to sometimes sit back.
But you gotta go. Like I've never really experienced like shame. Like like in that sense, my mom would like. My mom is such an open spirit and has always taught me to be who I am and not apologize for it. And if anyone from family, friends, strangers said anything, she's like, I don't care. That's my child. She'll do how she wants to do. But I also feel like as a parent, sometimes you can get overprotective, and in moments of like chaos, you sort of blur out things because you just want to protect your kid, like at all costs, like without any without any rationale. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
Girl, it was literally no rationale, because what my mom had really said was, she was like, I can't brag about you anymore.
Yeah.
And how I ate was, Mom, you had me when you were younger than the age I am. You're telling me this now.
yeah. And it's just wanting the best, wanting the best for your
We didn't have
kids.
an argument anymore, but it's like, because I also know how much my mom loves me. It's a case that we were able to obviously get past that, because I know where it was coming from. But it was just one of those things where it was like, she had a very human moment. And that's what, in this story, these parents also had. And I hate the fact that 24 years of memories, 24 Christmases, 24 birthdays, 24 highs, 24 lows, they were never able to be there because they were just too stubborn to have men that part. And it's like, she's now at a stage where God is literally giving you a golden ticket for you to fix this, because this will really be your last couple of months to mend 24 years of pain. Take it, girl. Forget it. It's not worth it. Life is too short.
I will never be the friend that says F them. Never me.
Your parents. I
can
never.
never be the friend that tells you, you know what, they deserve it. I'm always going to be the friend that's logical and says, baby, do it for you.
As
do
long
it
as
for,
it's not harming
Yeah.
you,
it's not,
will always
be there. I'm
yeah.
not the delusion. I'm like, oh, no. Be mature, be logical, and do it for your future self, because you do not want to have to deal with the burden of not trying.
regret. Regret
The
is
burden
a
of
horrible
regret is
feeling.
the worst feeling ever, and it's what kills people.
Yeah.
Don't regret anything, guys.
Wow.
On that note, guys, we have to spend 5 hours.
Spin the block.
Oh my God, no, I actually
joking.
really think
Yeah,
like
like
it's,
around
babe, it's
2.
literally been like 2 hours.
Damn.
This has been such a good episode.
Guys, it's 8. Like,
Yeah, it was really, really good episode.
We hope y'all tuned into the end, and if you did, comment below.
Guys, we really appreciate it. Guys,
follow the socials, guys. It's
Yeah.
Mercedes Kamara.
Woo.
We're gonna
On
have you. We're
TikTok.
gonna have you
Follow,
tagged as well.
follow.
Yeah.
Pop in your TikTok tag.
We definitely do a part 2.
100%. You're coming back,
Yeah,
girl.
because this was genuinely
It's heavy.
But do you know what? It was heavy, but I feel light.
Yeah,
Does that
I
make
feel
sense?
light. I feel light.
I feel like I
Free.
gave so much. I'm feeling a bit tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am tired. Bro,
I'm
it's
wrecked.
Friday, guys. I know we release on Thursdays, but it's Friday. We've all worked the 9 to 5. Make sure you hit that like button so we can
Yes.
get out, of it.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm tired.
Dead
But we
Anyways.
still showed up for you.
We did.
Yeah.
Always and forever.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I was like,
Please, are you ready? Ended it?
Go for it.
Oh yeah, so guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and tune in next week for your weekly subscription.
subscription
to the gist.
Sorry,
girl. You were